everybody? Flamin' Shark back with another video, and today we are jumping in to Fate Stay Night, episode 4, our second crack at the Fate arc of Fate Stay Night. Yeah, so Fate arc, I call it arc, route, I should say route, even though arc probably is also a term that really does work, all things considered. I'm just getting my notes all set up, in case I need to take any notes. So, last time we did the first day, again, this time as Emiya Shirou, as opposed to Tosaka Rin, and yeah, we're about to jump into February 1st, so day 2. Of course, we made it through 3 days as Rin. The first episode was Rin's first 2 days, the second episode was Rin's third day, that ended the prologue, then last episode we did, the first day of our boy Shirou. I'm hoping in this episode, if it isn't too long, to get through the second, basically to make it to where we were, in the prologue again, but this time in the actual main Fate route. So I'm really excited for this. I really am enjoying the game a lot, and we're just getting, right now we're just in the repeat of what we've already played, but through a different perspective. We're getting choices now, which is terrifying. And yeah, we're moving into like, as you can see here, February 1st. Day, I mean, it's kind of weird how this is. So I don't know what this means, like 2, 1, but like I think here is where it just says day 2, and I think that's like the symbolic thing here. Anyways, let's jump in. I'm excited. Hope you guys are as well. Let's see what happened on this day for Emiya. We kind of know how his February 2nd ends already, but we don't really know anything about his February 1st. The only thing that happens on the February 1st, if I'm remembering my days right, is there's the moment where, if I'm remembering my days correctly, on February 1st, there's a moment where I believe he's the one who looks up and sees Rin, like, on the roof or whatever. So that, at night. So that's probably him, like, coming home from work or something. I guess we'll have to find out. So anyways, let's jump in. Let's get to some more Fate Stay Night. Of course, thank you guys for checking out more of the Fate series. I have no idea how the series is going, because I have no idea when I'll even be starting this. I'm recording this a little before 8 in the morning on January 23rd, so we grinded yesterday morning, and now we're back with more Fate, so I am officially in the grind of recording this game, and I can't wait to get it out there for you guys, so yeah, let's jump in. My awakening is dark. Perhaps I just don't dream much, but unless something really special happens, I always seem to have the same dream. Okay. What I imagine are swords. Oh. Is this symbolic of the fact that he's, like, destined to become Saber's master? I don't know why it is, but it is the only thing that comes into my mind. There's no meaning or reason to it. Well, it's interesting, too, because there's an interesting thing going on with swords in this game, like as an aesthetic, because you have the situation with Archer, who's the bowman who's using swords, and then it seemed like he used, like, I think it was 27 swords or something, and we already know they're both, because I know it's the name of the second route, but also it's even already come up in this story in that, like, very first special, like, thing they did at the beginning of the game, and I should say the beginning of the Fate route, there was that quote, that Unlimited Blade Works quote, which, I mean, going into the game with no context, and, like, seeing Saber as, like, as clearly a swordswoman, I would have thought that was relating to Saber, but given where we are now, I would definitely think this is Archer, so I don't know what's going on with swords in this game. It's very interesting. It may just be one of the aspects making up Emiya Shirou. There are no dreams to dream. The only things I recall from sleep are things I was taught a long time ago. For example, about magi. Even if I'm an amateur, if I'm a magus, it's only natural for me to understand the kind of world I live in. Frankly speaking, a magus is an exception who deviates from modern society. Yeah, we've seen that with Rin. She certainly does deviate from modern society. But even exceptions must band together to survive. Father told me that the group of magi is called the Magic Association. That immediately just makes me think of the Hunter Association. Now, obviously, hunters are a known quantity in the Hunter x Hunter universe, whereas magi are not a known quantity in the Fate universe. But it is an interesting parallel because it is interesting because I'm remembering that this game is quite old, and so I'm trying my hardest when I say like, oh, what this could have pulled from, and actually remembering, oh, I gotta mention things that are older than Fate, and obviously like Hunter x Hunter is something that is a fair bit older than Fate. He also said that I shouldn't associate with them. The Magic Association hides magic and organizes magi. They basically keep watch to see that magi do not affect society with magic, but the strange part is that they do not prohibit misuse of magic. Yeah, that kind of reminds me a little bit of the Hunter Association. I mean, it's a little different, but... According to Kiritsugu, the Magic Association is only interested in the concealment of magic. And also... Yeah, that's interesting. Even if a magist carries out his research at the expense of the lives of many ordinary people, the Magic Association will not punish him. Their priority is that magic should not become public, so they do not ban magic. So, they're crazy people who think you could do anything as long as you don't get caught. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, the surveillance of the Magic Association is thorough. Most magical research would cost the lives of ordinary people, and as a result, the existence of magic would become public. So, the association does not allow research that would harm society. Well, that's good. So magi stay at home and research quietly while the normal world carries on unmolested. That is an interesting choice of word, but it does make sense. Hence, magi only try to hide themselves to escape the association. So perhaps I just don't know it, and a Magus lives in this town. I hear Fuyuki City is a spiritually excellent area. Such an area always has a distinguished Magus with a history. They are called the Second Owner, an elite, and the association entrusts the area to them. Sounds like that it would in fact be Tosaka Rin. Magi who would live in the area must visit them and obtain their permission to construct a workshop. Oh. Looking at it like that, we're thieves living here without the permission of the landlord. Damn. Father was an outlaw who cut his ties with the association and moved here without the consent of the administrator of Fuyuki. The owner doesn't know that Emiya Kiritsugu was a magus, and Kiritsugu didn't know who the owner was. With reasoning like that, I think our position is ambiguous. Father, the real magus, has passed away. And I, his son and pupil, don't know the Magic Association and have not the skill to be a magus. From the association's POV, they would want to catch an amateur like me doing things, but I've seen no movement yet. No, I've heard that Japan is relatively hidden from the eyes of the association, so I think I've just not been found out. Well, it's also the fact that, like, your shit has been so weak sauce that, like, it's probably a lot harder to find you because you're, like, such a pipsqueak in the grand scheme of, like, the magic world. Not that the magic world's particularly big, but, I mean, even still, like, you're not the type of person, at least until tomorrow, you're not the type of person that they're gonna give a fuck about. But that doesn't mean I can let my guard down. People say that the eyes of the association are everywhere. On top of that, if you commit a crime with magic, the heretic hunters of the church will come after you. That sounds badass. That just means that whatever you use magic for, lack of care will create enemies. Yeah, makes sense to me. I, Emiya Shirou, just have to study independently, taking that into account. Okay. And we've woken up very early in the morning, it looks like. Especially for Japan. Well, I don't know about winter. I was there in, like, the fall. Well, I was there in late summer, actually. But in late summer, yeah, Japan, very early, rise and shine. You know, it's like, it sun's out by about 5. It gets dark around similar time. I wake up to see the sun shining in through the window. The sun may have just risen, as it's still a bit dark outside. I mean, it's the land of the rising sun, so it makes sense, though. I I mean, you talk like you normally get up early, although, well, Sakura was. You were talking like you don't as much. I get up, trying not to be defeated by the morning chill, and quickly fold up my futon. It's 5:30. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. One of my strengths is waking up at this time, no matter how late I go to sleep. I do sometimes make mistakes and wake up late like yesterday, but I usually wake up early. Also, my time might have been a little off of the sun, and like I said, I wasn't there that long. Yep. Since I let Sakura do all the work yesterday, I have to return the favor this morning. I should finish preparing before Sakura arrives. Makes sense. I cook rice and make some miso soup. That sounds good. It was radish and carrot yesterday, so I make onion and potato miso soup today. Yeah, I'm not big on radishes, so I'd probably prefer the onion and potato miso, but I could see both being pretty good. I also make the usual broth egg and broth boil, and I'm done. I cut and salt the sari and sauri and stop just before cooking it. I actually don't know what that is. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Christ. Sorry, my setup is a little delicate. I mean, it's not really that bad, but when I try to get my phone to look something up, I'm not, like, that prepared. So, let's take a look here. Let's actually look up what this is. Not that it really matters, but... Oh, it's a fish. A long, slender-bodied, edible marine fish with an elongated snout. Okay. That makes sense. That's not a fish that I'm familiar with, actually, and I'm a pretty big fan of fish, but, you know, obviously fish is such a huge... It's so big in Japan. One of the things I really like about Japan. Of course, it's an island nation, so it makes sense, but... Okay, so some sauri, some... onion, potato, miso, some rice. Sounds good. Alright, that should do. It's almost 6. I finished earlier than expected, so I have some extra time. So what should I do? I thought it was actually going to give me a choice, but... The morning exercises are my daily routine, so I'll go and stretch my body a bit. Oh wow, you have a full-blown dojo. That's really cool. The empty dojo is quiet enough to brace myself. In the morning, when the sun has just risen, the silence has a holy feel to it that fascinates those who come here. There's only one thing to do now that I'm here. Since Kiritsugu died, this place has become a gym to train my body. Even a magus cannot neglect to train their body. One of the requirements for a magus is to have excellent physical abilities. Yeah, we've seen that Ren is superhuman. While Kiritsugu was alive, we had many matches here. Well, it was pretty much him beating on me, so I didn't learn anything about how to win in a fight. But I think I learned the difference between a fight and a battle. In other words, I was taught the difference between killing your opponent and beating your opponent. Knowledge and experience are different. Unless I know in advance, it's hard to tell whether I'm involved in a fight or a murder. It's a simple story. As long as you learn magic, you might destroy yourself, and times will come when you have to fight. For a magi, a fight means killing each other. So I think what Kiritsugu wanted to teach me was to prepare my mind for the prospect of death. But it's been a while since my teacher passed away. On my own, all I can do are simple exercises that anyone can do. After warming up by stretching, I start my exercises, keeping my attention inside my body. Alright, anything gonna come of this? I comprehend the flow of the magic circuit, the friction in my bones, the distortion in my thinking during fatigue, all while I'm training. It is really interesting, because we've gotten a lot of this, and obviously, again, through the perspective of, like, a full-fledged, young, like, very gifted magus, and then from a wannabe shitty magus. But in both cases, they train hard, they're always prepared, even if, you know, one of them honestly can't do shit. it is really interesting to see their own perspectives on their training and how much of their life really is dedicated to this, even though they are still living a quote-unquote normal life in the process.
120、150、170。
Even a simple push-up. Oh god. Sorry, guys. Even a simple push-up can be training for the magic circuit, if I put on mental shackles instead of metal weights. As I don't have a teacher, exercise like that of club's morning practice is an important part of training. That I get what it's saying, and it makes sense, but that was kind of a weird wording. What do we got?
おはようございます、先輩。今朝はもう済んでしまいましたか?
Great to see you, Sakura.
ねえ、朝食の支度なら済んでる。あとは食器の支度と魚に火を通すだけ。
あ、それならお手伝いします。食器の支度は任せてください。
Yep. Sakura is cheerful. And behind that admirable junior, let me guess, Fujine? Yep, there she is.
この匂いはシローの卵焼きね。そっか、今朝はシローの朝ごはんなんだ。
Yes, he is. And also, the freaking mug with the fucking kawaii-ass tiger. What the fuck? For someone who really doesn't like to be called Tiger, you certainly play into it with the shirt, the mug. Oops. Fujine moves slowly to the table.
まあ、あれは放っておいて。
First, I have to cook the fish I prepared.
さくら、皿は真ん中のやつ使ってくれ。その方がうまく見えるから。
この表面がブツブツのですか?
そう、それ。焼き物は皿にも気を配らないと手抜かりになるからな。で、大根はもう吸ってあるから。
Alright. Sakura takes out a dish from the back. I think I saw a faint bruise on her wrist when she leaned forward. Oh.
さくら、ちょっと待った。
はい、何ですか、先輩?
And look at how you hide your hands behind your back.
その手首のあざ、なんだ?
She looks away awkwardly. And that tells me who caused that bruise. Is it gonna be her brother?
またシンジか。あいつ、妹に手を挙げるなんて何考えてやがる。
What the fuck? I mean, I know this guy's a bit of an asshole, but like, what the fuck? Actually?
違います、先輩。これは転んでぶつけちゃったんです。ほら、私鈍いでしょ? だからよく転んで、怪我ばっかりしてるんです。
Yeah, you bullshitting me, Sakura?
バカ、転んだぐらいでそんなあざがつくか。シンジのやつ、どうやらまだ殴られ足りないみたいだな。
ダメです、先輩。これ、本当に兄さんは関係ないんです。私が一人で怪我をしただけなんですから、先輩に怒ってもらう資格なんてありません。
Damn. Sakura falls silent. Sakura looks calm, but she is pretty obstinate. It's useless to say anything to her now.
わかった。さくらがそう言うんならそういうことにしておく。
I'll trust you this time, girl.
はい。ごめんなさい、先輩。
Even though I'm not the biggest fan of voices like hers, it's already grown on me a lot. I don't know, it's something about the faces she makes that makes it sound like on the money.
だからどうしてそこでさくらが謝るんだ。悪いのはシンジだろう。
At the mention of Shinji's name, Sakura looks away awkwardly. In other words, he is the cause of that bruise. Mato Shinji has a bad habit of being hard on his sister Sakura. I first noticed it about a year ago. Sakura was injured sometimes, and she just evaded my question when I asked about it. When I asked Shinji about it, of all things, he said he was the one who hit Sakura. Jesus. God, that's even worse that he would actually admit it. When I asked him why he hit her, he said that he just hit her because he felt like, what the Your friend, by the way. After that, I got pissed and did to Shinji what he did to Sakura. Since then, we've been estranged. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. Because you stood up for your friend's sister, who your friend was bullying. What the fuck? God, Shinji, I was really expecting Shinji to be, like, just kind of a bit of a edgelord and not really be that bad of a guy, but holy fuck. I still don't regret punching him. No, nor should you. But I think it's my fault that Sakura's being treated worst. Well, that's just... shit. At that point, I mean, I don't know about your parents or whatever, but fuck, I don't know. I mean, nobody has fucking parents in this universe. If they don't have any parents, Sakura, fuck, you live here with me, man. Fuck that motherfucker. What the fuck?
先輩、兄さんとは仲直りしてくれましたか？
ああ、したよ。別に初めから喧嘩なんてしてないから、仲直りも何もないけどな。
Fair enough.
先輩にとってはそうでしょうけど、兄さんにとっては喧嘩をしたことになるんです。だから気をつけてください。
Sakura says strange things sometimes.
気をつけろって信じを？
はい。兄さん、先輩を目の敵にしてるって聞きました。先輩が退部するようになったのも、兄さんのせいだって。
それは違う。部活を辞めたのは信じとは関係ない。
Wow.
いや、そりゃ多少はあったかもしれないけど、そんなのはさくらが気に病むことじゃないぞ。確かに、信じの言う通り、ちょっと見苦しいからな、これは。
Well, it's interesting because, yeah, I mean, we literally portrayed it earlier in the last part as being driven out by Shinji. So, yeah, I was gonna say, maybe a bit. I point at my right shoulder. There's a scar there. Oh. It happened a year and a half ago. Oh, this is when he got injured. They talked about this. This is when Sakura started coming over here. A shipment collapsed on me during work and I hurt my right shoulder. I got out with just a broken bone, but the shipment was a hazardous one and I got a burn on my skin. Yikes. Ow. The fuck? After that accident, I quit the archery club. My school archery club emphasizes formalities as they let us shoot formally even as students. The men expose their right shoulder when they shoot. Shinji commented that it might be indecent for someone shooting formally to have a scar on their shoulder. Since I was getting busy with work, I quit the archery club right then. It makes sense. Just multiple things along.
先輩、しつこいようですけど、本当にもう弓は引かないんですか？藤村先生も怪我なんて支障はないって言ってるのに。
It's interesting how, like, rooted in this story the archery club is. Like, Rin would watch the archery club sometimes. Sakura's in the archery club. Shinji's in the archery club. Shirou used to be in the archery club. Fujimura Sensei is the teacher that's, like, managing the archery club. Like, almost all the relevant characters in this school are related to the archery club in some way.
何を平和な。藤姉は全身骨折しようが支障ないっていうやつだぞ、さくら。
Yeah, that definitely sounds like Fujini.
先輩、私、真面目な話をしているんです。
She just wants to see you more, and she wants to see you having fun and doing what you love, and if you love shooting, then she wants to see you in the archery club some more. I should answer seriously too, but I can't give her the answer she wants.
当分は部活をしている余裕はないよ。弓は好きだけど、優先するべきことじゃないし、しばらくは間を取ろうと思う。
That seems like a pretty mature answer, I'd say.
しばらくって、どのくらいですか？
Aw, she wants to see you back in the archery club.
気が向いた頃かな。まあさくらが卒業するぐらいまでにはなんとか。その時はよろしくな、さくら。
I pat Sakura's shoulder.
私、その時をお待ちしています。
I hope you can live up to that promise. Given where things are going, I really have no idea. It's so, like, tense because knowing that, like, what we know about the Holy Grail War, only, you know, at some point somebody's got to win it, and only one of the 7 Magi are going to win, and the other 6 are going to die, and I mean, that by itself means that either Rin or Shirou's going to die, as well as 5 other characters we're unfamiliar with. Whoever pulled Lancer from their freaking gacha, and then whoever pulled the other 4. Was it Berserker, Caster, shit. I have notes on this. Rider or Assassin. Yeah. And she nods so powerfully that it seems she might drop the plate she's holding. But she didn't, luckily. Now let's have some breakfast, right? Oh. Oh, did we actually skip breakfast today? I don't think we've seen this room yet. It's almost 7:30. Sakura and Fujini have already left for their morning club practice. I went to school early yesterday because Issei wanted me to, but I leave my house at the usual time today. Okay, so we skipped over, like, the rest of the morning. Interesting. Maybe this day will go by a little quicker. The fuck? I run into an unusual scene when I reach the intersection. Several police cars are parked outside a house. Something must have happened as it's noisy and a lot of people are surrounding the area. I'm curious, but I cannot tell what's going on with all the people surrounding it. I have no time, so I should prioritize school. Is this gonna be a choice? No? Okay, no, he just went to school. Alright, no choice there again. I reached school 10 minutes before the bell. I enter the main gate as usual.
Yeah, ohayo, Emiya.
Oh, hello! I bump into a familiar female student.
なんだ、まだ着替えてないのか、三辻。もうすぐホームルームだぞ。俺に挨拶なんかしてる場合じゃないだろう。
I think this is the first time we've seen Ayako since, like, the very beginning of the game, basically.
いや、ごもっとも。相変わらず釣れない野郎だね、エミヤは。
Nice. She laughs as if something is really funny. Mitsuzuri Ayako. I mean, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she was the first character we saw in the whole game. Because, like, we were playing as Rin, and the first person we ran into was Ayako. She was my classmate in first year, and she's now the captain of the archery club. She's very insightful, and everyone expected her to become captain since the first year. Well, in other words, her mental age is older than her real age, so she's been the older sister type everyone counts on since she was a first year. Though, she gets mad when people say that. According to her, she's not that old.
ああ、今あんた、よからぬ感想を漏らさなかったかもし。
I mean, in your perspective, yes.
そんなものは漏らさない。あくまで客観的な事実を連想しただけだ。それで気を悪くするのは三辻の勝手だが。
What a savage line. I was just thinking objectively about the truth. It's up to you if you want to feel angry about it.
お、言うじゃん。いいね。正直に答えるくせに何をどう考えてたかは口にしないんだもの。
Because he knows better than to piss off a lady that isn't well, I was about to say that isn't Fujini, but he would say that Fujini is hardly a lady.
エミヤ、シンジと違って隙がないな。
I'm also not an asshole like Shinji.
シンジ？なんでそこにシンジが出てくるんだ？
なんでも何も、あんたとシンジって友人じゃない。
In the loosest sense of the term.
シンジの男友達ってあんただけでしょ？それにお忘れでしょうが、私これでも弓道部の主将なの。うちの問題児と辞めちまった問題児をくっつけるのは自然な流れだと思わない？
Damn.
まあ確かに自然だ。弓道部ってのは関係ないけど、俺とあいつは腐れ縁だからな。
Yeah. For whatever reason, we've been friends since middle school, and when I finally don't want to be even remotely associated with him, I kind of fallen in love with his sister.
あ、カチンときた。あんたね、弓道部の話になると急に冷たくなるでしょ。いいご身分よね。シンジをほっぽっといて自分はさっさと退場しちゃうんだから。後に残された私とかさくらの気持ちとか少しは考えてくれてもいいんじゃない？
You abandoned us, now we're the only ones that have to deal with this asshole.
シンジのやつまたなんかやったのか？
あいつが何もやらない日なんてないけど。
Isn't that right?
まあそれにしても昨日のはちょっとやりすぎか。
The whole incident with Rin?
1年の男子が1人辞めたぐらいだから。
Or that. Mitsuzuri sighs seriously. It's rare for her to make a face like this, but even more than that, I can't ignore what she just said.
なんだよそれ。部員が辞めたってなんで？
シンジのやつが八つ当たりしたのよ。わざわざ女子を集めてね、夢を持ったばかりの子にシャをさせて的中するまで笑い物にしたとか。
Wow. That is so fucking... What a... Jesus Christ. Christ, this guy's an asshole.
はあ？お前そんな馬鹿げたことを見過ごしてたってのか？
And a lot of times I like assholes in like anime and like otaku like weeb shit like this. But God, Shinji is just such a fucking asshole. Like, not in an entertaining way either.
見過ごすか？けどさ、首相ってのはいろいろと忙しいんだ。いつも道場にいるわけじゃないってエミヤだって知ってるでしょ？
Of course.
それはそうだが、にしても何考えてんだシンジのやつ。必要以上に厳しく教えることはあっても素人を見せ物にするようなやつじゃないだろう。
So I'm assuming it's because Rin pissed him off before, and then after that, that's what he did.
呆れた。エミヤっては本当にあれだ。
What does that mean?
あれってなんだ？今お前よからぬ感想を漏らさなかったか？
Is Ayako gonna throw it right back at you?
あら、私はあくまで客観的な事実を連想しただけさ。それで気を悪くするのはエミヤの勝手だね。
I love it, love it. The banter, throwing it right back in his face.
このついさっき聞いたような返答をしやがって。
Stop copying me.
いや、それよりシンジはどうしたんだよ。なんだってそんな真似をしたんだ。
聞いた話じゃ遠坂にこっぴどく振られたとかなんとか。
The idiot thought he could get fucking Rin.
遠坂ってあの遠坂か？
Of course.
うちの学校にあれ以外の遠坂なんていないでしょ。
The goddess.
2年 A 組の優等生ミスパーフェクトこと遠坂凛よ。
Miss Perfect.
いや、そんなあだ名は初めて聞いたけど。
It's the first time I've heard the nickname, but I would probably agree with it. With Tosaka involved, I can understand even Shinji getting turned down. Most of all. If it was Tosaka, I could see her refusing him mercilessly. Yeah, pretty much. It was
ともか
amazing.
くシンジのやつは昨日からずっとその調子よ。おかげで私もこんな時間まで道場で目を光らせてたってわけ。
I really like Ayako. Like, I think I talked about this, I want to say, in the last episode. In one of the, either episode 2 or 3, I talked about wanting to see more of her. Because she's just, like, a character that, like... Because I didn't know how many freaking characters they were going to throw at us. And I'm looking at my list, and... Like, I don't know how much of a relevance Yukika's going to have. But, like, you know, Rin, Sakura, Shinji, Issei... Shirou, obviously, Archer, Lancer, and Fujimura all feel important. The only characters we met that I wasn't really sure how important they're going to be is Ayako, Yukika, I honestly wonder if she's gonna be important at all, but like, that's the thing, because it's a VN and they voiced every character, like every dialogue line is voiced, you probably wouldn't want to just throw in a bunch of random characters that, you know, voice like freaking like 10 lines, right? So I'm kind of the interpretation that every character is going, that's actually properly in this game is going to have some relevance.
シンジのやつ変にこらえが効かない時があるからな。三綴り大変だろうけど頑張ってくれ。
Alright.
はいはい。けどね、シンジって懲りないでしょ。また遠坂に声をかけて振られた日には、今度こそ遠坂本人に何かしそうでさ。
Why couldn't it have been Shinji instead of Shirou, who got fucking popped by a Lancer?
いや、いくらシンジでも振られた相手には近寄らないだろう。あいつそのあたりはちゃんとしてるぞ。
けど相手が近寄ってくるんだからしょうがないじゃない。遠坂さ、なんか知らないけどうちの道場をよく見学に来るのよ。
She does.
エミヤ。
Oops, sorry. That's the first time I've heard of it. Tosaka Rin doesn't do any club activities for personal reasons. I thought she went straight home since she turned down the recommendation to join the student council.
ま、たまにはそれもいいか。あいつもお高く泊まってるし、一度ぐらいは痛い目に遭うのもいいかもね。お
Well,
気
yeah.
の毒様っていうか、ご愁傷様っていうか。
Part of the reason he's such an asshole, yeah, is because he has his way with pretty much all the girls. And yeah, it's good. It's definitely good for him that there's some girl out there that's like, fuck you, bitch. Mitsuzuri says some dangerous things. Come to think of it, I heard that Tosaka has many enemies. Could Mitsuzuri be one of them?
おい三綴りいくらなんでもそれは。
あ、そろそろ時間だ。じゃあねエミヤ。今度私の弓の調子見に来てよ。
I'd love to. We could make it a date. I honestly really like Ayako from the little bit we've gotten of her in the 2 scenes she's been in. I really like her a lot. Obviously, so just to kind of review so far, favorite character is still Rin. I think second favorite character is still Archer. After that, it's probably between Fujimura and I really like Ayako from the very little we've gotten of her. And, yeah, the more we see of him, the more I'm liking Shirou. So far, so good with our main boy over here. Mitsuzuri hurries off.
相変わらずだなあいつ。
But for me, it is still Rin, then Archer, then everyone else. But Fujimura is amazing. But I like that part of her. Feeling calmer now, I head for the classroom. Alright, what do we got? Let me see, Fujini again? Oh no, we're at the student council. Okay, so we just skip homeroom, skip all those classes, now we go to lunch. It's lunchtime. Our school has a splendid cafeteria and most students eat there. There are some old-fashioned students who bring their own lunches. 2 of them happen to be me and the student council president in front of me.
エミヤ、その唐揚げを一つくれないか。俺の弁当には圧倒的に肉分が不足している。
Fried chicken sounds so good. I haven't had fried chicken in... God, I don't even know the last time I had fried chicken.
うんいいけどなんだってお前の弁当ってそう質素なんだ一世。いくら寺だからって酒も肉も取らないなんて教えがあるわけでもないだろう。
I was gonna say, I guess I have chicken wings, and some of the chicken wings are a bit kind of in that vein, but not really. That's like the closest, though, I've had to fried chicken in a long time.
何を時代錯誤なことを。これは単に親父殿の趣味だ。
Damn.
小坊主に食わす贅沢はない。悔しいのなら己で何とかせよ、などという。いっそ今からでも天祖になるか。俺も考えどころだ。
Trying to imagine this guy in the goddamn circus of all places. That's hilarious.
ああ、あのじいさんなら確かに。
I assume we'll meet Daddy Ryoldo eventually. I just dropped my pen. Alright. Issei's father is the priest of Ryodo Temple, and a bold guy who's old friends with the old man at Fujini's place. Okay, so a friend of our Yakuza boy. You can't expect a normal personality when he's friends with a guy like that.
それはそれは。じゃあいつか恩返しを期待して一つ。
I hand him my lunchbox.
いやいや、ありがたく。これも托発の修行なり。
Lol. Issei bows deeply. How can I put this? I never know what to say when things like this remind me that he's the son of a priest.
ああ、そういえばエミヤ、朝方2丁目の方で騒ぎがあったのを知っているか？ちょうどエミヤと別れるあたりの交差点だが。
Yes, we did encounter that.
交差点？
Yep, the police sirens. The intersection this morning, he must mean that clamor with all the police cars.
なんでもな、殺人があったそうだ。詳細は知らないが、一家4人中助かったのは子供だけらしい。両親と姉は刺殺されたというが、その凶器が包丁やナイフではなく、長物だというのが普通じゃない。
Well, it's pretty clear what's going on. Lancer and his master are trying to power Lancer up. A long weapon? He must mean something like a sword. I would say a spear. It was a murder, so that must mean the sister and the parents were killed. Bruh. And picture it. Someone barging in during the night. Unjust violence. A one-sided pillage like an accident. Slash parents. The sister killed without even knowing what's going on. To the side, the child covered in their blood. Reminds you a little too much. Hits home a little too much there, Shirou.
いいっす。それ犯人は捕まったのか？
Of course not.
捕まってはいないようだな。信徒の方では欠陥工事による事故。こちらでは辻切りめいた殺人事件だ。学校の門限が早まるのも当然。どうしたエミヤ？喉に飯でも詰まったか？
別に。何もないけど、なんだよ、いきなり。
Yeah, what's up?
いや、エミヤが厳しい顔をしていたのでな。少し驚いた。すまん。食事時の話ではなかったな。
The spit over here. Issei tries to soften the air apologetically. I was fine with the topic, but was I really making such a nasty face? And then there's a quiet knock at the door. Oh, who could this be? Oh.
失礼。竜道はいるか？
Okay, so here's this other teacher. And I don't have a name for this boy yet. I'm gonna write down his name whenever it's said. So going back to my point, I think there's a point to every character in this game. And for that exact reason, I wonder if this guy's like... I mean, you look at this guy and it just screams villain, right? Like, what the fuck? I'm wondering if this guy is going to end up being one of the other masters, potentially even... Oh, but that doesn't really make sense, though, because Rin was so sure there were no other masters in town prior to that, so it doesn't really make sense for this teacher to be a master, so he probably isn't going to be, actually. Because I was thinking he could be a master, maybe even potentially be Lancer's master, but that doesn't really add up. Because the other 5 should be from out of town. So none of the... people that we know should be masters.
ああ、はい。何ですか、先生。
Yo, what's up? Issei addresses Kazuki. Oh, yeah, they did say that name. I remember Kazuki-sensei, who just entered. He wasn't on screen during that, though. They were just referring to him. It must be a simple talk about the student council, as Issei seems pretty relaxed.
へえ。
That's not something you see every day. Despite his appearance, Issei is very shy. The guy who draws a line against his classmates and even his teachers is letting his guard down with Kazuki.
真面目なとこで気が合うのかも。
They are both quite serious, that's for sure. Kazuki, oh Jesus. Oh Jesus, that's a name. Uzuki Soichiro. Kuzuki Soichiro? Something like that. Yep. Is serious and stubborn. Probably that aspect helps him get along with Issei, who prizes order and discipline. The two continue to talk. All the while, I can't get the story of the murder out of my head. Yeah, so he's just thinking about that. Is that just going to be the end of the scene? Yes, it is. Wow, we're done with school. Okay. Classes end, and it's time to go home. So this day's going by pretty quickly, which means that I am probably going to try and do... Because we know February 2nd. I mean, the day might go by quickly, but that night sure isn't. I cannot go anywhere as I have work today. Oh, we're going to get to go to work. I should leave school and go straight to the neighboring town, but... What happened? What's going on? Still worried about the conversation I had this morning. I've made my way to the archery club before I knew it. Okay, to see Sakura and Shinji.
もう何やってんだ俺。
According to Mitsuzuri, Tosaka Rin comes here often. Well, I really don't care about that, but I know that Shinji getting angry at her is going to be a problem.
シンジのやつ、カッとなると止まらないからな。
Yeah. It's bad if Shinji gets violent just because she turned him down. I don't know why it's bad, it's just bad. It makes me feel bad just thinking about it, so I have to stop it from happening.
なんだ、遠坂いないじゃないか。
Yeah, I was gonna say, we know we don't run into Rin here because Rin didn't run into Emiya on this day, and like we didn't go here. Like because of our experiences as Rin, we know that he's not gonna run into Rin. Tosaka isn't around. Mitsuzuri's worries were needless.
へえ、誰がいないって？
Oh boy. The boys.
だから、誰がいないって？
Don't be creepy, bro. And there's Issei, whom I just left behind.
お前か一世。あんまり驚かすなよな。
Yeah, he was scared that Shinji was coming.
いや、エミヤが挙動不審げに道場を眺めていたからつい。
Yeah, I bet it looked pretty weird to an outside observer.
で、誰がいないって？
Tosaka.
誰って遠坂だよ。なんでも昨日シンジと一悶着あったらしいんだ。それで一応様子を見に来ただけだ。
ほうほう、挙動不審だな。聞かれてもいないのに理由まで話すなど。俺は誰がいないかと聞いただけなのだが。
I don't really know what's suspicious about that.
なんだよ、別にいいだろ。俺が何しようが俺の勝手だ。
It probably shouldn't, but it still does.
うん、それはしかり。だが無駄だぞエミヤ。遠坂はここにはいない。なぜなら、あいつは今日ずる休みだ。
Yep, she was just chilling with our boy, Archer.
何？
Skipped school, so she was absent today?
そうか、欠席か。待て一世。なんで遠坂がずる休みなんだよ。あいつがそんなのするわけないだろう。
するとも、あいつが風邪などひくものか。俺が見たところあいつは悪いやつだ。外見に騙されるとパクッと食われるぞエミヤ。
Wow. She won't catch a cold. I mean, the ironic thing about this is, I feel like the advice is good, but it's not because she's evil. But one way or another, Emiya's gonna get sucked into this world either way. And to be fair, in a weird way, he kind of does want to be in it. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Rin might be one of the few people he might actually be able to trust once Saber appears. Assuming he does in fact save Rin's life, as I expect he will tomorrow. Somehow, Issei's words annoy me. It's true that I don't know her, but I can't imagine that she's a bad person.
言い過ぎだぞ一世。遠坂はそんなやつじゃないだろう。
No, she's actually a great fucking person. She's literally gonna save your life pretty soon.
ん？なんだ？エミヤも遠坂に。ああ、それはすまない。 今のは流してくれ。
Well, I mean, everyone's after Tosaka, although, while I think Emiya wouldn't mind getting some of that booty, I think he's after Sakura's. Get fucked. After Tosaka? Who said anything like that?
勝手に決めつけるな。俺はただシンジが揉め事を起こしたら大変だから。
Sure.
シンジが遠坂に殴りかかろうとしたら止めるためか。またそんな役回りをするな。別に俺は気にしないが、割と趣味が悪いのだな、エミヤは。
You're playing an unrewarded role again. That's an interesting way to put it, but it is thematic with what we've already been setting up about Emiya.
してないから損じゃない。けど伊勢、お前今変なこと言わなかった？
ん？遠坂狙いは趣味が悪いってことかい？
そう。遠坂は人気あるじゃないか。俺もあいつの悪い噂は聞かないぞ。
ああ、聞かないね。それがまた気に食わない。
She's Miss Perfect. That's your problem. Yeah, because she's hiding a big secret. You are right about that.
気に食わないってどの辺がだよ。
だから全部だよ。あれは女狐だ。女性だ。妖怪だ。とにかく生理的に気に食わない。悪いことは言わないから、エミヤも気に入らないようにしろ。
I just don't like her physiologically. I won't say anything bad, but you should try to hate her too. What the fuck, Issei? Why are you so cute? Oh my god, she is a fox, a schoolgirl, and a monster, though. I agree with all those comments.
いいっす。人の陰口は良くないってお前の口癖じゃなかったか？
That's also true, though.
たわけ。これが陰口に入るか。俺は聞こえるように喋っている。
Even right after you said you know that she skipped school and she isn't here. Ah, no wonder I feel someone's eyes from the archery dojo. Thank God. I'm so glad Tosaka is absent today.
頼む伊勢。悪いが早速陰口にしてくれ。
Yeah, it's probably for the best, especially since everyone apparently simps for Rin.
うん。エミヤがそういうのなら了解した。
And I wouldn't be surprised if the fandom also simps for Rin. She is the best character so far. I mean, again, I'm waiting on Saber. I think Saber, I get the feeling is going to be really fucking cool. And so she's obviously going to be a big competition for that.
が、とりわけ中傷していたわけではないぞ。単に竜道一世が遠坂凛を警戒していると言っただけだ。
Fair enough.
あくまで個人の趣味嗜好の範囲だろう。
その割には妖怪だとか女狐だとか言ってたけど。
And I think the term schoolgirl is discrimination. I feel like if you're a Japanese girl, schoolgirl is probably discrimination.
なに、褒め言葉だ。女狐にも妖怪にもいいものはいる。
I don't know, calling someone calling a girl a monster is a bit like if you were calling a dude a monster like an athlete, that could potentially be like that guy's a beast or that guy's a monster. Like that could be in a good context, but other than that, usually calling someone a monster is pretty rude.
あくまで遠坂を表現する値として採用しただけである。
Sure.
かつ。
Cuts. Issei laughs.
それではな。俺は生徒会室に戻るが、エミヤはバイトだろう。こんなところで道草を食っている暇はなかろう。
He must feel refreshed now that he said everything he wanted as he leaves calmly. I've known him for 2 years now, but I still don't understand his personality. 20 minutes after taking the bus from my school, I arrive at the neighboring town of Shinto across the bridge. Yeah, pretty cool little area here.
なんだ。まだ5時前か。少し時間があるな。
Okay. Miyama City is a residential district, so there's no part-time jobs there. But the developing Shinto has many available. The school approves of students having part-time jobs, so I work a few easy ones. I prefer hard physical labor that ends as quickly as possible. It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone as it builds my body while I get paid for it. That makes a lot of sense, honestly. Today's job is a simple loading job from 5 to 8 o'clock. Even though it's only 3 hours, there's 6 hours worth of work to do. They make you run around without a minute's rest. So I should rest when I can, even if it's just for 10 minutes. It's a waste of energy walking around until my job, so I guess I'll rest in the park. Okay. Cool. And there's the park! And they just start playing the music again. This park among the buildings is like a big field. Interesting how the Fate route started. I'm in a burning field. A park should be filled with people like families and lovers on weekends, but it's empty here now. No. This place is always desolate.
相変わらずだな、ここは。
Yep. Where the last Holy Grail War ended. I'm a bit sad. The utterly neglected ground looks awful compared to the neatly organized surroundings. The desolate area makes the wind feel cold. This is the remains of a conflagration 10 years ago. And this is the place where I was saved from burning to death. Yep, that's what I figured.
なんで芝生とか植えないんだろう。いつまでもこのままってのはもったいない。
What's symbolic? What this tells me is in all likelihood the 5th Holy Grail War is also going to end in the same damn park. It's a large area, so if they retiled it, the park would get bigger. Thinking absent-mindedly, I sit down on a bench. I stare at the burned land to pass the time. I don't remember what happened here back then. I probably don't remember because I was a kid, and it wouldn't have been an easy scene to memorize. All I can remember is that it was hot, and I couldn't breathe. And that people died trying to save others.
どうしてそうなのかな。
Oh my god, this is wild. It's crazy that he's actually here. For example, an adult that tried to save a child from a burning house. He saved the child but died in its place. For example, there were people who had their throats burned, but they gave what little water they had to one guy and the others died. For example, there was someone who ran alone to get away from the fire as fast as possible, and everyone that he passed on the way died. Oh my god. Are all 3 of these referring to Shirou? Are all 3 of these referring to Shirou? And for example, people who died because they gave away something that was saving them, only to save others they didn't even know. It's humanity for you. I didn't like things like that. No, I don't think anyone does. Well, I'm sure there's some sickos that do. I love this theme so much. I love this. It makes me mad that those who tried hard were sacrificed. Am I greedy to want an ending where everyone is safe, everybody is safe and happy? Potentially, but greed can be good in some cases. All I wanted was to see people relax peacefully, so why couldn't I manage such a simple thing?
それは難しい。シロの言っていることは誰も彼も救うということだからね。
And that's obviously not going to be possible in the context of the Holy Grail War. But I wonder if there is a way. I wonder if there is a universe where Rin and Shirou both make it out alive. Kiritsugu answered so to the question I asked as a child. Of course, as a child, I denied it. Because Kiritsugu saved me. I knew he was a sorcerer who could do anything. I knew he was a superhero who couldn't ignore people in need, who saved them for no benefit. So I believed Kiritsugu could have saved everyone back then. When I told him that, he made a troubled expression and said something that I remember to this day.
シロ、誰かを救うということは、
Yep.
誰かを助けないということなんだ。いいかい？正義の味方に助けられるのはね、正義の味方が助けたものだけなんだよ。
It's impossible to save
当たり
everyone.
前のことだけど、これが正義の味方の定義なんだ。
It's impossible to save everyone, and sometimes you have to make that choice. And obviously that's building up the fact that Shirou will have moments like that in the future. I understand that. It's obvious now that he's said it. Let's say there's a robber and some hostages, and the robber intends to kill the hostages. With normal methods, most of the hostages will be killed. Even if you use a miraculous method to save all of those hostages, there will still be one person who isn't saved. That, of course, is the robber whose hostages were rescued. The people the superhero saves are only those he decides to save. That's why even God cannot save everyone. Jesus! Wow! There's a lot of depth to those words.
それが天才ならなおさらだ。誰であろうと全てを助けるなんてできなかった。
It wasn't a natural disaster, though. The fire 10 years ago was like that. It's not something I, who was miraculously saved from it, can talk about now.
けど嫌だ。
I don't want such a thing. I don't want help that has a limited capacity. Yeah, he wants to become... He wants to be able to save everyone, no matter what. You have to help, no matter how impossible it is. I can't stand to have strangers dying around me like back then. So if I had been there 10 years ago, even if it was impossible, I would have gone into the fire and...
そのまま無駄死にしてたろうな。間違いなく。
I like that he's at least able to acknowledge that he probably would have died in vain. That would have probably been his fate. That's for certain. Jeez, I'm hopeless.
しまった。ぼんやりしてたら5時になっちまった。
Yeah, time for you. You've been reminiscing for a little while here. Time for you to get to work. 5 o'clock bell rings. I stand up and quickly make my way to my work. Alrighty. When my job's done, the sun is already set. It's a bit before 8. Okay. I finished 10 minutes early because I worked too hard. Seems I worked frantically since I went to that place before work. Here in front of the station, the night's just getting started. This is where he's going to see Rin on the skyscraper. There are lots of people and a constant flow of cars on the road. The buildings are still lit up, and just looking at them makes me feel like I'm watching a grand festival of illumination.
藤姉にお土産はいいか。
Check W. I walk while looking up at the lighted building. It's the biggest building in Shinto, so I can't see the top clearly. I just gaze up the building, just enjoying the night scenery. Yep, here it comes. When I think I see something out of place,
なんだ今の。
I stop and stare at the rooftop. I want to see this. I focus my eyes looking at the thing as small as a grain of rice. What's the view gonna be here? Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy fuck. Yeah. That's so badass too. It looks like someone I know. Why is she there? What would she be doing there? With her long hair fluttering and doing nothing, she looks down at the town. It doesn't seem like she notices me down here. She ends up noticing you, yes, but... No, there's no way she could see me. Oh, little do you know. She's so high up that I, with better eyesight than most, can barely see her by improving my vision with magical energy. That's exactly the point, though. You have no idea. It's so ironic. But yeah, so he's able to see her. He has better eyesight than most people, which I'm sure is because of obvious reasons, and then using magical energy to further boost it. I can recognize her since she's standing there alone, but there's no way she would notice me down here among all these people. She's just looking down at the town. Maybe she's looking for something, as I can feel her sharp stare even down here. That's such a fucking cool fucking shot. Holy shit. I forget about time and keep looking up at the girl standing in the sky. She is on top of a tall tower. She's like a witch, looking down at the earth with the moon behind her. Little do you know how accurate that is. Oh. And then, she must be done with whatever she was doing as she disappears. Her figure has disappeared and the scene returns to the beautiful view of the night.
今の遠坂だったのかな。
Yeah, that was definitely Tosaka. I have no proof, but I think I'm right. Huh, interesting. There aren't many girls with looks that stand out that much, and more than that, I'm not stupid enough to mistake a girl I secretly admire.
そうか。 にしても
Oh, just wait for tomorrow night, bro. Well, it's... Tosaka sure has strange hobbies. Yeah, she does, but little do you know. Unlike Shinto, there's no one in Miyama City. After 8 o'clock, there are no people around, and the town is terribly quiet. At the junction is the house I saw this morning. There's no sign of people, and the door has a "Do Not Enter" sign. After only one day, the house is as quiet as an abandoned building. Parents and older sister killed by the burglar. What kind of life remains for the child left behind? I bite my lip, feeling powerless. Yeah, it hits a little too close to home, doesn't it, Shirou? Even after swearing to become like Kiritsugu, I can't do anything about something that happened so close by. Even though I want to help someone, in the end, I don't even know what I can do. Oh, just wait. I climbed the hill and reached the Emiya house. Lights are still on, so Sakura or Fujini must still be there. Let's see, which one are we gonna get? Or both?
ただいま。あれ、藤姉だけか。
Okay, time to hang out with her.
おかえり、シロ
Nice. Fujini turns around, munching on a rice cracker. The TV shows a loud variety show.
もうまたこんな時間に帰ってきて。冬は日が暮れるのが早いんだから、もっと早くに帰ってきなさいって言ったでしょ。
Kinda hard to do that when I work after school.
だから早く帰ってきてるだろ。8時までのバイトを選んでるんだから、これ以上無茶言わないでくれ。で、さくらはどうしたんだよ。なんか晩飯の支度だけはできてるみたいだけど。
さくらちゃんなら早めに帰ったわよ。今日は用事があるからって晩ご飯だけ作ってくれたの。
Interesting. Fujini says so happily. As far as she's concerned, anyone who cooks for her is a good person. To be fair, Sakura seems like a very good person.
そっか。確かにしばらくはその方がいいかもしれないな。最近は物騒だし、いっそ新学期まで晩飯は俺が作ろうか。
Sure.
反対。シロ帰ってくるの遅いじゃない。それからご飯作ってたら食べるの10時過ぎになっちゃうよ。
Damn.
あのね、そこに自分家で食べるという選択肢はないのか、あんたは。
Lol.
だからここが私の家だよ。
Aww. Fujini seems puzzled. Honestly, I'm not sure if that makes me happy or sad.
たく、わかったよ。藤姉に飯を作れなんて無理難題を言ってもしょうがねえ。
Get fucked.
それはいいけど、足元のそれなんだよ。また余計なものを持ってきたんじゃないだろうな。
What do you got? Fujini has a terrible habit of leaving junk at my place. Large bowls from restaurants, a heavy teapot she got in the shopping district, a strange guitar that plays by itself. Excuse me? I think she thinks of this place as some kind of a warehouse. It is really big, I suppose.
ちょっと見せてみろ。ゴミだったら捨てるから。
これ？うちで余ったポスターだけど。
Oh, a poster. Fujini hands me the poster. It's probably some infamous idol or something.
どれどれ？
What's this gonna be? Here we have a military-style guy with the thumbs up on a cheap-looking blue sky background. In letters like blood, it reads, "Love's lovely Rangerland. Please join the self-defense force." Hold on, this is an army recruiting poster.
それいらないからあげるね。
Okay.
俺だっていらねえよこんなの。
Yeah, that's really strange and random as fuck. I roll up the poster and hit Fujine with it. Wow.
へへん。外
Or
れ。
I guess you didn't hit her with it. But Fujini deflects my attack with a poster she had hit in and counterattacks mercilessly. Bam. The poster lightly knocks my... What the fuck? Stars. I saw stars!
へい。シロの腕で私に当てようなんて甘いわよ。悔しかったらもうちょっと腕を磨きなさいね。
Why is not actually older sister, but kind of older sister, the fucking goat. I love her so much, and the fact that I'm pretty sure this is like her theme for her hijinks and stuff. She's the greatest. I swear to God, if she dies, I'm killing myself. I've been thinking about this a little bit with this game, and I'm like, there's all these like fun side characters. I'm like, how many of them are just gonna get fucking yeeted? Because I'm like very scared, honestly, about this, because I get the feeling this game is gonna be really dark. And there's a lot of things that have been built up, and the whole like you can save some people but you can't save everyone. I'm really scared we're gonna have a moment in the series where we just straight up have to pick someone to save, and I'm gonna want to kill myself.
そんな問題じゃないだろう今の。なぜに紙のポスターがかような破壊音を。
Yo, what the fuck was the poster you kept hidden? Could this be the skill of a master?
ごめんごめん。こっちのポスター初回特典版なんで豪華鉄板仕様だった。
What in the fuck?
シロ、頭大丈夫？
You just bashed his head in with a steel-plated poster?
藤ね、いつか絶対に人を殺すぞ。その性格。
Foreshadowing? No, I'm just kidding. She might kill herself with that personality, but she might kill someone else.
その時はシロがお嫁にもらってくれるから安心かな。
What? Excuse me? There's a lot of problems with this sentence, woman. You're my teacher. You're kind of my big sister. That part's kind of hot. Actually, both of those are hot. Ah, you know, on second thought, maybe we can work this out. You are pretty based.
全速でお断りです。そんな天然殺人鬼を相方にもらう気はないやい。
Damn, get shit on.
うん。私そんな物騒なのじゃないと思う。
Why is she so cute?
やっぱり。得てしてそういう連中は自覚がないっていうのは本当だったのか。
Yeah, that's kind of true, to be honest. How true, how true. I'll have to watch out or I'll be killed.
ふんだ、行ってなさい。そんなことよりシロ、私お腹減った。今まで待ってたんだから早くご飯の用意しよう。
Sounds like fun to me. Fujine stands up. How strange. Fujine is helping out, even if it's only setting up the dishes. She must be really hungry.
はいはい。じゃあ藤姉は皿と茶碗な。ご飯ぐらい告げるだろ。
Something tells me she can't even fucking handle rice.
告げるよ。ねえシロ、私丼でいいかな。
いいんじゃないか。今日はさくらもいないし、どうせ飯は余るし。
よしよし。それじゃ、シロもお揃いね。
Fujine pours rice into 2 bowls. Oh well, I was going to have seconds anyway, and besides, if I argue with Fujine, she'll take my dinner away. And to add, chaotic dinners like this have been common scenes for many years now. I imagine so. Are we gonna skip dinner? Yep. The day ends. I like that effect of the light going out. That was pretty cool. Finishing a rowdy dinner and seeing Fujine off, I take a bath. After that, I practice my daily routine in the shed. I complete it as usual and go to sleep. It is 1 in the morning. The day ends peacefully without any troubles. Just wait until tomorrow, bro. Just fucking wait until tomorrow. Okay. So, oh lord. They're supposed to be like titles for the days. This is long day, long night. Oh, lovely. So I am going to get a refill on my water. I'll probably I'll make a cut here, assuming I remember, and we'll be back momentarily with the rest of the episode. We're gonna get to a dramatic point and get a stop, hopefully when the day ends, but it's gonna be somewhere in the chaos of this day. But the fact that it's called Long Day, Long Night, I am a little scared, but we're gonna try and do it all in one video. Alrighty, it's time for us to begin the long day, long night. It is time for the moment of truth. For the second time in Fate's Day night, we're going to be jumping into February 2nd, where everything goes to fucking shit. And finally, we're going to for the third time, meet Saber, but for the first time, properly meet Saber. Holy shit, am I excited for that. Let's begin February 2nd, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, back to here. I'm in a fire. Collapsing buildings and burning people. No matter how far I run, the scenery is always red. This is a vision of 10 years ago. A memory of the distant past I haven't remembered in a while. Interesting you're remembering it today. I run through it as if recreating the scene. There's no escape even though I know it's a dream. I run, keep running. In the end, where I end up is how I'm saved after running out of energy. Interesting. Very cool start to this day of infamy. The day the 5th Holy Grail War officially began. I wake up with a bad feeling. A feeling like a metal weight is inside my chest. I feel my forehead and find that I'm sweating a lot even though it's winter.
ああ、もうこんな時間か。
It's already past 6 o'clock. From the kitchen, I can hear the sound of the kitchen knife cutting something. Ah, Sakura.
さくら、今朝も早いな。
Yep. There's no time to be impressed. I have to get ready quickly and go help fix breakfast. Okay.
シロ、今日どうするのよ。土曜日だから午後はアルバイト？
Okay, it's Saturday, apparently.
いや、バイトは入ってないよ。一世のところで何かやってると思うけど、それがどうかしたか？
別に。暇だったら道場の方に遊びに来てくんないかなーって。私、今月ピンチなのだ。
Oh?
ピンチって何がさ？
Yeah. Can we have more details on this?
お財布事情がピンチなの。誰かがお弁当作ってくれると嬉しいんだけどな。
Wow.
断る。自業自得だ。たまには一食ぐらい抜いた方がいい。
Get fucked.
で、シローには期待してないもん。私が頼りにしてるのはさくらちゃんだけなんだから。ね、さくらちゃん。
What the fuck? Now she's sipping for Sakura over here. There she is.
私と同じものでよろしければ用意しておきますね、先生。
What the fuck?
オッケーオッケー。
Okay,
じゃあ今日は
okay.
一緒にお昼を食べましょう。
God damn it, I love her way too much. She's so great. I will say, she's becoming a standout character in this fucking game. Like, she's just so entertaining. She's like, it's funny because they made the comment that like her and Kuzuki are like opposites, right? But it's almost more like Fujimura and Shinji are opposites because they give you these exact opposite feelings. Like, Shinji is such a fucking asshole and like Fujini is like the fucking goat. So it's really interesting. But I'm enjoying that character so much, and I'm super excited. But I'm also excited because today is the day that this story, you know, I mean, I'm sure we're still gonna have tons of fun moments, but today is the day that this story really does, I feel like, truly begin. Or tonight, at least, in the game. But yeah, breakfast continues as usual. Today, along with the usual, there's simmered lotus root with chicken. I've never had lotus root. Can't comment on that. I don't think she has to make anything this elaborate for breakfast, but I think she made a lot of it to take for lunch too. Sakura is a member of the archery club, and Fujine is in charge of the archery club. It's natural for them to share lunches. Yeah, it makes sense.
そういえばシロ、今朝は遅かったけど何かあった？
Fujine looks at me, sipping her miso soup. She's usually slow, but she gets sharp only at times like this.
昔の夢を見た。寝覚めがすっげえ悪かっただけで、あとはなんともない。
Yes, about my dramatic backstory.
なんだ、いつものことか。なら安心かな。
Fujini ends the conversation like she's not interested, but let me guess, Sakura's interested? I'm not worried at all about it either, so I shouldn't get mad about it. 10 years ago, I used to have nightmares back when I couldn't get the fire out of my mind. But I saw less of it as time passed, and I'm well over it now that I can let it slide even after dreaming about it. But I guess it was pretty bad back then, since Fujini has been here since that time. She's sensitive to my change.
シロ、食欲はある？今朝に限ってないとかない？
Is he not eating much?
ない。 なんともないんだから人の夢にかこつけて飯を横取りするな。
Damn, what the fuck?
シローが強くなってくれて嬉しいけど、もうちょっと繊細でいてくれた方がいいな、お姉ちゃんは。
Wow. Love the cat face there.
そりゃこっちのセリフだ。もうちょっと可憐になってくれた方がいいぞ、弟分としては。
Let's go. I love the banter. I love that Shirou doesn't take it. We make fun of each other without looking at each other. That proves my liveliness, and Fujini laughs with relief. To be honest, I'm glad she's worrying. But she'll be elated if I thank her, so I act like I'm discontented. Nice. Not knowing the circumstances, Sakura looks puzzled at the way we're acting. And she's just like, what the fuck? Okay, so we're already done with breakfast. It does feel like that the series, it does feel like we are starting to, the game's starting to move along a little quicker now, which I think is pretty cool, but I think part of that might be because even though it's a different perspective, we have actually played these 3 days of the game already. After Fujini leaves, we lock the house and leave. Okay. So me and Sakura.
先輩、今日の夜から月曜日までお手伝いに来れませんけど、よろしいですか？
Well, that's tremendous because I'm really glad you were not here tonight.
別にいいよ。だって土日だろ。さくらだって付き合いがあるんだから気にすることないぞ。
そんな違います。そういうんじゃないです。本当に個人的な用事でちゃんと部活にだって出るんですから。だから何かあったら道場に来てくれれば何とかします。
Okay. There's definitely something up with Sakura. I'm very curious to learn more about her later in the game.
別に土日だからって遊びに行くわけじゃないです。だから変な勘違いはしないでもらえると助かります。
Okay. He's like, Nani? Sakura is acting suspicious and she's looking very tense. I don't know why, but I guess she just means she can't come over this weekend.
わかった。なんかあったら道場に行くよ。
Okay. It's almost like... Wait a minute. Whoa. Hold on. It's almost like she knows something's going to happen. Oh, now I think about it, that's actually kind of weird. I don't know what that means, though, because we already know there's no way that there's no... Yeah, there's no way she can be... There's no way she could be a master. That doesn't... Because Rin would know. So, I don't fucking know what's going on. That's actually really interesting, now I think about it.
はい、そうしてもらえれば嬉しいです。
Okay. Sakura looks relieved. And when she looks down, her face suddenly stiffens.
先輩って。
Wait a minute! Is it the command spell? Sakura is staring at my left hand. Looking down at it, it's bleeding. Oh. What the fuck?
あれ
I pull up my sleeve. There is certainly blood there.
なんだこれ。昨日の夜ガラクタいじってて切ったかな。
I wonder if this could somehow be related to the command spell. But it doesn't hurt at all. There's just a welt on there. Oh, I wonder if it's because it's going to turn into the command spell, but it hasn't yet because he hasn't yet summoned Saber. This feels too coincidental. This has to be related to the Magus stuff for sure. The welt goes straight from my shoulder down to my hand, and it looks kind of like a small snake running from my shoulder to my hand. Yeah, this is definitely magic related for sure.
ま、痛みもないし、すぐに引くだろう。大丈夫。気にするほどじゃない。
Oh, this is your day of destiny, Hemiya. Be prepared.
はい。先輩がそう言うのでしたら気にしません。
Alright. Perhaps she's feeling bad from seeing the blood as Sakura looks away and falls silent. School, yep. I leave Sakura, who has club activities, and head to the school building. The schoolyard is full of spirited students running around. But still, there's something oddly wrong here. The school is like it always is. The students at morning practice are lively, and the new school building is spotless. Oh, can he almost sense the, oh my god, why am I forgetting the boundary field? He's becoming more sensitive to things. Yeah, but when I close my eyes, the air completely changes. The school building is covered with stains like membranes, and the students running around the schoolyard seem like empty dolls. I shake my head to clear it. I head to the lifeless building. Interesting, interesting. This is really interesting. Okay, let's see where this goes. Okay. Okay, wow. Okay, so school ends early, but we're already done with school. Holy shit. So we're going to hang out with Issei, and that's going to be our explanation for why we're still here. Holy shit, we're already almost to the... It said long day, long night. That was a really short day, but this night is going to be long, that's for sure. School ends early on Saturdays. Classes end before noon, and after I finish helping Issei, the sun is starting to set... Out. You've already helped Issei? Bro, this game ain't fucking around. Today, they said long day, long night, but that day was like by far the shortest day of this game so far. So what keeps you here, or are you already gonna run into this shit? I pack up and leave my classroom. So what happens here? And then... Okay, so you run into Shinji. I bump into Shinji, yes, I just said that. There are a couple of girls behind him being rowdy.
やることもないくせにまだ残ってたの？ああ、そうか。また生徒会にごますってたわけね。いいね、エミヤは。部活なんてやんなくても内心稼げるんだからさ。
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, he's very helpful, so even if he's not doing any club activities, he's still being beneficial to the school.
生徒会の手伝いじゃないぞ。学校の備品を直すのは生徒として当たり前だろ。使ってるのは俺たちなんだから。
I mean, if that's how you want to put it, really, it's kind of both, really.
よく言うよ。エミヤに言わせればなんだって当たり前だからね。そういういい子ぶりが勘に触るって前に言わなかったっけ？
Shinji over here like I know you're an asshole too, and I hate that you pretend like you're not.
すまん。よく覚えていない。それシンジの口癖だと思っていたから、どうも聞き流してたみたいだ。
Damn, savage as fuck. I thought that was just the sort of thing you say, so I didn't really notice what you were saying. Yeah, I knew Shinji wouldn't like that.
そうかい。それじゃあ学校にあるものなら何でも直してくれるんだ、エミヤは。
What the fuck, bro?
何でも直すなんて無理だ。せいぜい面倒見るぐらいだが。
よし、なら頼まれてくれよ。うちの弓道場さ、今割と散らかってるんだよね。弦も巻いてないのが溜まってるし、安土の掃除もできてない。
Wow. So in other words, you weren't able to handle that on your own.
暇ならさ、そっちの方もよろしくやってくれないかな。元弓道部員だろ。生徒会になんか尻尾振ってないで、たまには僕たちの役に立ってくれ。
God damn, and that's gonna be why he stuck around as late as he did.
ちょっと先輩、それって先輩が藤村先生に言われてたことじゃなかった？
Get fucked.
そうですよ。ちゃんとやっておかないと明日怒られますよ。
Get fucked.
でもさ、今から片付けしてたら店閉まるじゃん。そこの人がやってくれんならそれでいいんじゃないの？
悪いよ。それに部外者に後片付けなんかできるわけないし。そうでもないんじゃない？あの人元弓道部員だってシンジが言ってるしさ。任せちゃえばいいのよ。
I can't even tell how many of these girls are different voices. Fucking simps. They're getting rowdy behind Shinji. It seems they're in the archery club. They must be members that Shinji recruited recently, as I don't know them.
じゃあ、あとはよろしく。鍵の場所は変わってないから、勝手にやっといてよ。文句ないよね、エミヤ。
Of course it was Shinji that led to him being there as late as he was when all the bullshit went down with Lancer and Archer and Rin.
なあ、構わないよ。どうせ暇だったから、たまにはこういうのも悪くない。
Fair enough.
サンキュー。それじゃあ行こうぜみんな。つまんない雑用はあいつがやっといてくれるってさ。
Aw, at least he actually sounds genuinely like thankful.
あ、待ってよ先輩。あ、じゃああとはよろしくお願いしますね先輩。
A lot of senpais over here. Gotta love the girls a year younger all calling you senpai. That probably gets, I mean, Shinji gets off on it clearly. Shirou only gets off on it when Sakura is calling him senpai. The cleaning ends quite easily as I know the place well. It took a while as it is quite big, but it was fun cleaning the place I used until a year and a half ago. I picked up a bow thinking it might be okay to shoot just once, but since it wasn't mine, I decided not to. If I ever want to, I could just bring my own bow and come here.
にしても、カーボン製の弓が多くなったな。1年前までは1つしかなかったのに。
Carbon-based bows are good, unlike wood and plastic bows. But the biggest problem is the price, and they're not something we could buy with the club budget. Back then, Shinji was the only one using it. Are the new members rich too? I was wondering, okay, so yeah, that is preferred. Because I know, like, a lot of people use wood bows. Plastic sound, yeah, carbon just seems like an improvement on plastic. But wood, it's like that natural old school bow, so I figure some people would want wood bows.
もったいない。木の弓の方がいろいろと手を加えられるのに。
And right on cue, Shirou's a wood bow boy. Well, I guess that's personal taste right there. When I look at the clock, it's way past curfew. Fucking hell, here we go. It's a little after 7. The gate should be closed by now, so there's no reason to rush now. But still, is this dojo always this dirty? There are loads of places that looked unkept.
ま、ここまで来たら1時間も2時間も変わらないか。
And he stuck around. I started this, so I'll finish the job. It's probably therapeutic for him, honestly, but we all know where this is going. Oh god, here we go. Oh god, here we go. The wind is blowing. It's so cold that my cheeks are getting numb. Fuyuki City isn't usually cold during the winter, but it is cold tonight of all nights. The wind is howling, so to speak. My breath hangs around as a white cloud. I wrap up my body to hold off the cold. Here we go. Oh
なん
god.
だ。暗いと思ったら月が隠れてるのか。
It's literally the universe saying today is different. There's no light in the sky when I look up. Because of the strong winds, the clouds are moving fast. It's past curfew and there's no sign of life in the empty school. It seems this place is filled with only with chill, as it's all silent. Oh my god. Oh my god, I know those sound effects! Just now, I think I hear something. Here we go.
確かに聞こえる。
I do hear
校庭の
something.
方か。
I don't know why I started to read that. This night, I must have been curious about the sound that broke the silence. Yes, the battle between Archer and Lancer. To investigate it, I find myself heading there, even though I somehow know that I mustn't. Like, instinctually, you know. Oh my god. I go to the schoolyard.
人？
Well, they only look like that from a distance. It's a dark night with no light. If I want to know more, I'll have to go closer to the schoolyard. I can hear the sounds louder now. It's the sound of metal hitting metal. That must mean someone is fighting with weapons there. Jesus Christ, those sound effects.
バカバカしい。何考えてるんだ、おい。
I dismiss the image from my mind with a bitter smile and walk on. At that time, maybe my instincts noticed the danger as I hid myself as I approached. I don't know if this is fortunate or not. Anyways, when I get by a tree that is big enough to hide myself, I take a closer look at the source of the sound. Yep! Yep! My mind stops completely. Hell yeah. Yeah, what the fuck is the full line that you should have said. There's something strange there. A man in red and a man in blue. They are dangerously armed, and as their ominous appearance suggests, they are actually slashing at each other. Yep. I can't understand. I can't follow them with my eyes. My brain does not work properly faced with their impossible movements. But the clang of their weapons tells me they are trying to kill each other. I just knew immediately when I saw them, they are not human. They are probably just things that look like humans. I can tell not because I'm learning magic. Anyone would realize they're not human. After all, humans can't move like that. Although, to be fair, if you saw Rin move, you would kind of think the same thing, even if she's not on their level. So they are something no one should associate with. I can feel their murderous intent, even from a distance. I'm going to die. My body understands faster than my brain that I will definitely die if I stay here. That's why my heart is racing so fast. As a living thing like them, I sense that they're living things made only to kill. They're using weapons made only to kill. I remember the murder yesterday. They said the family was killed with some weapon like a sword. I shouldn't watch any longer. But my body won't follow my commands and I can't even breathe. My mind wants to run away, but my judgment tells me I'll be seen the moment I run away. More than the conflict within me, my body is just numb. Even though I'm over 40 meters away, I can't breathe properly, and it's like I have a spear pointed right at my back. Oh. Has he noticed Rin yet? Because I imagine that's what's going to get him to come out. The sounds stop. The figures separate and stand facing each other. The moment I feel relief at the end of their battle, I sense an even stronger intention to kill. My heart stops. The numbness in my body becomes convulsions, and I clench my teeth to try to hold my trembling body.
嘘だ。なんだあいつ。
An overwhelming amount of magical energy is flowing into the guy in blue. Kiritsugu showed me once what it's like to draw in magical energy from the surroundings. It was a beautiful magic that impressed even an amateur like me. That thing is different. Just as even the simple task of drinking water could seem ugly if it goes too far, what he is doing is so excessive that anyone with knowledge of magical energy would hate it. He's going to die. The guy in red is going to die. This is the exact reaction that Rin had. It's a blow with that much concentrated magical energy. There's no way he'll be able to survive it. He'll die. It was the same thing, and Rin was like, he'll die unless something, you know, a miracle happens. Unless something convenient happens, he's going to die. And this is the thing, it's the same thing, but Shirou, because he just can't help himself, he has to pop out and try and save him. He'll die. He's not human, so something nearly like a human will die. That's something I can just ignore. That doubt takes my mind off of them. The binds of my body disappear, and the instant I take a deep breath...
誰だ?
Yep, we've seen this before. The guy in blue stares at me, who's hiding. The blue guy's body sinks. Just that motion tells me I'm his target now. My legs start running automatically. I finally realize that it's an action to escape death, and I put all the energy in my body into running away. It doesn't last long. This is where you die. Well, quote-unquote die. I don't know how fast I run, but before I know it, I'm in the school building.
何を。バカだ。
I regret my actions, panting heavily. I should have run into town to get away. What am I doing fleeing to such a deserted place? In a school of all things, isn't there some better place to hide than here? Anyways, why do you think I'll be killed if I don't escape? My heart aches from running so much. Turning around, I could sense nothing pursuing me. The only sound in the air is the sound of my footsteps. Oh, just wait. So I can finally rest. I stop my feet, unable to take another step, send oxygen to my pumping heart, and look up to finally realize that I'm safe.
何だったんだ今の。
So he never noticed Rin in that whole thing. I recall the scene from earlier while catching my breath. Anyway, I'm sure that it wasn't something I should have seen. Some things like humans were fighting in the school grounds. That's all I can remember. Yeah, he never noticed Rin in that scene. But there was something else I saw out of the corner of my... Oh, never mind.
もう一人誰かいた気がするけど。
Okay. But I can't remember what that figure looked like. To be honest, I didn't have the composure to notice anything other than those two fighting.
けどこれでともかく。
追いかけっこは終わりだろ?
Oh shit. Here we go. The voice comes from right in front of me. Shit. Big shit.
いや、割と遠くまで走ったな、お前。
I can't breathe. My brain stops, and even though I cannot think, I vaguely understand that I'm going to die.
逃げられないってのはお前自身が誰よりも分かってたんだろう？何？やられる側ってのは得てしてそういうもんだ。別に恥じることじゃない。
I mean, that's almost comforting in a sense. The lance is casually raised.
運が悪かったな、坊主。ま、見られたからには死んでくれよ。
Jesus. Jesus, there it is. And the man's lance mercilessly pierces Emiya Shirou's heart. There wasn't even time to dodge it. All the training I did was for nothing. I knew I was going to be killed. I knew I was going to be pierced by that lance, yet I could not move at all. The world distorts. My body grows cold. Feeling vanishes from my fingertips. I cough up blood once. More blood should have come up, but it only happens once. Yeah, it was very surgical. Perhaps the man's lance is special. The blood slowly clots, and the heart that should have exploded stops working with just a single pierce. Interesting. I can't see well. There's no feeling in me. I feel like a jellyfish floating in the dark sea at night. I don't feel any pain already. The world is white, and only I am black. So rather than feeling like I'm dead, it's more like the world around me has disappeared. I know this. I felt this 10 years ago. This is how someone feels when dying.
死人に口なしってな。弱いやつがくたばるのは当然といえば当然だが。
Cannot concentrate on my vision.
まったく嫌な仕事をさせてくれる。このざまで英雄とは笑い草だ。
I like that. I like that Lancer is actually acknowledging the fact that his master is an asshole. I can only hear voices.
分かっている。文句はないさ。女のサーバントは見たんだ。おとなしく戻ってやるよ。
Fair enough. A voice filled with irritation. And after that, I hear footsteps running through the hallway.
アーチャーか。蹴りをつけておきたいところだが、マスターの方針を破るわけにもいくまい。まったく、いけすかねえマスターだこと。
Okay, that confirms that your master is a male. We've learned now that Lancer's master is a male. Even though this game does like always use like the male like pronoun, it's ironic they were using it even when we were playing as a female who was one of the masters, which is really funny. So yeah, so we don't really know. So we know now. We know that Lancer's master is a guy. That's like a detail that we didn't know before. The voice suddenly disappears. I guess he jumped out of a window or something. And after that, footsteps approach me and stop. In that brief period, more footsteps. So Archer and Rin. I can't hear much now.
追ってアーチャー。ランサーはマスターのところに戻るはず。せめて相手の顔ぐらい把握しないと。
Sure. Whose voice was that? I concentrate my fading mind, but I can't remember anything. Right now, my breathing is too noisy. My lungs must still be alive. The air coming out of my mouth is as loud as a hurricane.
その割にはまだ死んでないってのはすごいな。
Isn't that what matters in the end? For some reason, he wasn't dead yet. I sense someone looking at my face. Perhaps my breathing was loud as the figure tries to close my mouth and...
やめてよね。なんだってあんたが。
Why does it have to be you? I hear the person grit their teeth, then they touch me without hesitation.
破損した臓器を偽造して代用。その間に心臓一つ丸々修復か。こんな。
Oops. Accepted to the clock tower instantly. A pain-filled voice. With that, my mind stops fading. Feeling returns to my body. Slowly, bit by bit, like a drop of water going down a leaf, feeling returns to my body. What is the person doing? The person is sweating and places their hand on my chest with all their heart. When I notice, the place where the person placed their hand is terribly hot. It must be so hot that the frozen blood melted and started to flow again. I sense someone take a deep breath and sit down.
疲れた。
I hear a clang of something falling.
まあ仕方ないか。ごめんなさい父さん。あなたの娘はとんでもなく薄情者です。
No, it's quite the opposite, Rin. You have too much heart. Much like Shirou. And that's it. The person speaks to mock themselves and leaves. We know that Archer pops in and grabs the necklace to give it back to Rin later. My heart resumes its activity. And then my mind stops. So he blacks out. This is not the sleep of death. This is a restful sleep to recover the energy to wake up again. Wow. Crazy. We still haven't gotten to the big shit yet, though. Okay. He finally wakes up, and at this point, Archer's already come and gotten it. I wake up. I feel sick. My whole body is in pain, and I have a sharp headache each time my heart throbs.
何が起きた？
Yeah, what do you remember, boy? I can't remember because of the sharp headache. My body is cold, probably from lying on the floor for a long time. The only certain thing is my ripped uniform and my own blood on the floor. I get up with a hazy head. The spot where I was lying looks like a murder scene.
本当に
Had my chest pierced? Oh man. God, this is where it gets really good, because this is all basically new material for us now. I mean, we know that he's gonna summon Saber, but bearing the pain, I enter the closest classroom. Once he gets home, of course. Moving to the locker with unsteady steps, I take out a mop and a bucket.
何してんだろう俺。
I'm still confused. Why do I still think I have to clean up when I've just met something totally outrageous and been killed instantly? Am I an idiot?
くそ落ちない。
I wipe the floor with the mop. With unsteady hands, I manage to get the blood wiped off and pick up any trash lying around and put it in my pocket. Maybe I'm destroying the evidence. I'm still in a daze, so perhaps that's why I'm doing something so absurd? It's interesting that Shirou's instinct is to destroy the evidence. That shows a bit of his Magus training, is that, you know, even though he like, even in a scenario like this, like, it kind of just shows where his headspace is, as in general. I put back the mop and bucket and leave the school like a zombie. I get hotter as I walk. The air is so cold, but it feels like my body is burning. Well, you just had a shit ton of magic, like, directly, essentially, juiced up into your body, which is part of this, too. Yeah, we're seeing the transitions, all the different transitions as he heads to his house, yep. Now he's inside. When I get home, the day has already changed. There's no one home. Neither Fujini nor Sakura is around now. My question is he going to do his training? And is his training going to summon Saber? Or is he literally about to get killed by Lancer and then something happens and he just pops out Saber? I collapse to the floor. I lie on the ground and finally calm down. I take a deep breath. When I inhale, my heart cries in pain as if cracking apart. I mean, it's interesting, too, because they've had the big emphasis between the pain and being a Magus, and, you know, also the fact that he basically died but didn't actually die will obviously also be a component in this awakening of his. No, that's wrong. It wasn't just cracked. It had a hole in it, but it healed, and the wound tries to open up again when I inhale. Yeah, and I think, especially given the fact that you know about the existence of magic, you should be able to piece together that the only way this is humanly possible that you're still alive is magic. No. That's wrong, too. I was killed. I wasn't almost killed. I was actually killed. But I'm still alive in spite of that, because someone saved me. You're about to return the favor, I think. Since the person was there, that person might have something to do with them. But that makes no difference to the fact that the person saved me. I have to thank them one of these days. I think you'll get a chance tonight. The moment I let my guard down, the pain returns. At the same time, I feel like vomiting. Now, if I remember correctly, he was in what I now know to be his shed when he meets Saber, so I sit up and resist the sickness. Which is why I was thinking that maybe he's actually going to try and do his nightly ritual, even in this pain. I place my hand on my bare chest where the uniform is ripped. Even though I was saved, I did have a hole in my chest. Jesus Christ. That feeling. Such an unpleasant feeling. A spearhead entering my body. Isn't something I can forget easily. Yeah, this will be your new nightmare fuel. Of course, you might be having sweet dreams of your mommy who's gonna be dicking you down every night very shortly. I'm ready, Saber. If I close my eyes, it feels like the lance is still in me. Oh, the jokes I can make after what I literally just said. I shake off that illusion and try to calm down. The result of all that training every night, just taking a few deep breaths clears my mind, and the heat and nausea vanish from my body. A man in blue and a man in red. They looked human, but I don't think they were. Were they like ghosts or something? Because that's the thing, even though he knows about magic, he knows nothing about the Holy Grail War or any of this stuff. But I've never heard of ghosts with form able to associate directly with people. And they were talking, too. They have their own will, it's hard for me to think of them as ghosts. I've heard that the only ghosts with a body are spirits, but aren't they shaped differently from humans? Oops. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. There's another fundamental problem. Those two who are killing each other, the murderous burglar that has appeared in the neighborhood, the ongoing ominous events in Fuyuki City. Yeah. Yep. All I could tell with such thoughts is that it's way out of my league.
こんな時、親父が生きてれば。
Well, you're about to have quite the ally on your side. Perhaps because the wound on my chest is so vivid, I complain about things I shouldn't.
まぬけ。わからなくても、自分にできることをやるって決めてるじゃないか。
Complaining comes later. First, I have to decide whether or not it's my concern. The bell hung from the ceiling rings. This is a Magus's house, even if only a poor one. There is a boundary field that alerts me when a stranger enters the property.
こんな時に泥棒か。
Huh. So this has got to be Lancer, right? As I speak, I realize my foolishness. That can't be it. With this timing right after that strange incident, that can't be it. There's an intruder. Not a burglar, but an assassin who's here for my life. Because I remember that guy saying, "You saw us, so die." The house is filled with silence. In the silent darkness, the murderous intent I felt at school is slowly drawing closer. My throat gulps. I feel a sharp chill running down my spine. I will be instantly pierced if I move from this room. Frantically contain the scream about to escape my mouth. The instant I release it, the assassin will happily jump in and take the opportunity to kill me. If that happens, it will be just like before. Unprepared, I will be pierced by that lance again. How the fuck does he summon Saber? How does this go down? The moment I think about it, my breathing goes wild. Damn it. I'm ashamed that I'm about to give up my saved life so easily, and then I'm afraid. Gritting my teeth and holding my chest, I try to restrain myself. I should get used to it. This is the second time. This is the second time I'm about to be killed. That alone is enough to make me want it to end differently from last time. Besides, I'm a Magus. What have I been learning for the past 8 years if I can't even protect my own life? Enough thinking. Right now, I just have to counter the intruder. Even though I'm a Magus, all I can do is strengthen something that could be a weapon. To fight, I need a weapon. The shed has lots of things that could become weapons, but it's too far away. Or maybe it doesn't happen in the shed. If I'm attacked when I leave the living room, it will just be a repeat of what happened earlier. It'll be difficult, but I have to find a weapon here. Something long and thin would be best. My opponent's weapon is a lance, so something like a knife won't do. Maybe... I can't even tell what that is back there next to the pan. It would be great if there were a wooden sword or something, but of course there's nothing. If anything here could be weapon, it's... Oh my god, I mean, it is a steel poster, though. I'm disappointed. But despite that, I'm determined even in this hopeless situation. Things are already as bad as they can be, so they can't get any worse. So all I have to do is run forward until I run out of energy. With the words that suggest my reconstruction, I channel magical energy into the 60-centimeter long poster. Okay, this is how he summons her, because in the process of it saving his life, he also just got a super boost from Rin Staddy, basically. I have to turn it into something that can repel that lance, so I need to channel magical energy into every corner and solidify it, and I assume this is where his knowledge of structure is going to pay off. Whoa! Oh, that's really cool. I extend my consciousness. As if soaking my blood into the poster through my skin, I permeate magical energy into it.
構成材質補強
Yep. A sense that I've hit the bottom. Right before the magical energy overflows from it.
トレースオフ
Okay. I cut off all connection with the poster and shudder at the feeling of success. The poster is now as hard as metal, but is as light as it was before, so I couldn't ask for a better sword.
うまくいった
Yeah? How many years has it been since I last succeeded the strengthening magic? It's kind of ironic. The magic I've never been able to achieve since Kiritsugu died is finally working in this kind of a situation.
ともあれこれで
I might be able to do something. I have some knowledge of how to use a sword. I hold the poster with both hands and stand up. I'll die anyway if I stay here, and I don't think I would be able to flee even if I escaped this house. So all I can do is to run straight to the shed and make a stronger weapon. Come, if you're going to come. It won't be like before. And the instant I think that, my whole spine shivers. When did he arrive? Appearing from the ceiling, the guy drops straight at me. Silver light descends upon me. The guy that seems to have come straight through the ceiling descends to pierce my head. I frantically escape by rolling forward. He lands softly while I keep rolling, but I stop rolling and stand with my freshly made sword in hand. Oh, this is so cool. Holy fuck, this is wild. That face, he's like, huh, how the fuck are you still alive? He turns to face me, looking bored.
余計な手間を見えていればいたかろうと俺なりの配慮だったのだがな
He raises his lance again, seemingly uninterested. I don't know why, but he lacks the spirit he had at the school ground. In that case, I might be able to outwit him.
まったく一日に同じ人間を二度殺す羽目になるとはないつになろうと人の世は血生臭いということか
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that last part, unfortunately, is kind of true, and given you're based on some historic figure in history, that's a fitting quote, I suppose. The man is complaining as if he thinks nothing of me. I slowly move backwards. It's about 3 more meters to the window. Once out the window, it's about 20 meters to the shed. Then, I can run off this instant.
じゃあな今度こそ迷うなよ坊主
Let's see. He says blankly as if sighing it out. Pain assails my right arm. It happened in an instant. The man's lance is thrust without time for me to react. I would have faced my second death with that blow. What prevented it was my newly made sword. He must have thought it was just paper. The lance, thrust as if the poster wasn't there, was deflected by it and only skimmed my right arm.
ほう変わった芸風だなおい
Yep, it is. The man's expression goes away. His carelessness disappears, and he's now staring at me with beast-like eyes. Yeah, even if you have a little magic, all of a sudden he's like, uh-huh, interesting. He's a little more interested now. I screwed up. I was just being stupidly optimistic when I thought I could do something. The thing before me is a monster beyond belief. Painfully, I realize my foolishness for letting my guard down even slightly against him. That's right. If I'd been really desperate, I should have ran frantically to the window as soon as I miraculously avoided his first attack.
ただの坊主かと思ったがなるほど微弱だが魔力を感じる心臓をうがたれて生きているってのはそういうことか
I mean, I guess possibly. It is certainly I wonder if Rin's attempt at saving him if it wouldn't have worked if he didn't have an affinity with magic at all. He points his lance at me. I won't be able to block it. I can't possibly block that lightning fast blow. this weapon were a sword, I might have been able to at least prepare for it. But that's a lance. A sword follows a line, but a lance has a point. Oh, that's a interesting way to put it. How am I supposed to block a blow from a point that I can't even see coming?
いいぜ。少しは楽しめそうじゃないか。
Oh, are you gonna toy with him and that's gonna give him the opportunity he needs? Oh my god, what the fuck is this music? What is this song? The man's body descends. In that instant, his lance is swung sideways. Okay, you deflected it. I blocked the lance coming at my face with just my instincts.
いい子だ。ほら次行くぞ。
He is toying with you! Oh my god, good boy. Oh, what a tease. There's a huge whirlwind. I don't know how he's moving the lance in this small room, but it makes a beautiful arc and just comes to attack my body from the other side. Yep, deflected it again. My constructed sword moved to stop it, bends. Is he using a hammer? Damn, this numbness feels like I've broken the bones in my arm.
Come on!
Oh wow, you tried to swing at him. I swing the sword instinctively. He must take me lightly as he hasn't pulled back his lance, so I flick away the shaft with my sword. The arms that hit it go numb. Jesus. The sword bends even more, and the man's lance only moves slightly.
使えねえな。機械をくれてやったのに無駄な真似しやがって。まあ、魔術師に切り合いを望んでも仕方ねえんだろうが。
Especially a shitty one. The man was just playing with me. He let me hit him once since I blocked him twice. But I used up my one and only chance for just a makeshift attack. That's why he sees no point in fighting me anymore.
拍子抜けだ。やはりすぐに死ねよ、坊主。
Nice. He readies his lance again. During that small and necessary movement. What you want, you idiot? Not looking behind me, I jump out the window. So he's gonna make it to the shed. I break the window with my back and roll outside. Oh my god, remember? There's a fucking like seal or something on the bottom of the shed. He's gonna like make contact with it and it's just gonna do the job, or some shit's gonna happen like that. I roll a few times, get up, and you guys know what I'm talking about. I remember in the description of the shed, the first time we were in the shed, there's like some marking or some like magic sounding mumbo jumbo on the floor of the shed or whatever. If you guys remember, I think you guys remember what I'm talking about. Without a thought, I turn and swing behind me. The man hesitates a moment as I deflected his lance thrust. As I expected. If I jumped out the window, he would definitely come after me. And he would kill me even before I could get up. That's why I expected the fatal blow and swung at it. See, that's at least smart. It was a bold plan. I would have died if it was a second too late or a second too early. But considering the difference in our skill, I could never have been too early. So all I had to do was get up as fast as possible and swing at what was coming behind me. The result was perfect. I won my bet and deflected the man's lance. I quickly regained my balance. Now I have to make it to the shed before he recovers.
飛べ。
Fly? What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. Oh, he's just gonna send you flying into the shed. You're gonna get your wish. The man who supposedly had his lance knocked away comes up to me empty-handed and just fucking spins and executes a roundhouse kick. Yep, you're gonna go flying into the shed. Yep, I think. What the fuck? The scenery flies past me, yep. My battered chest is numb and I cannot breathe. No, what's more surprising is I'm flying. I never in my dreams thought that I would be sent flying by a mere roundhouse kick. Yeah, that. I fall to the ground from my back. I hit a wall and come crashing down. Yeah, in other words, sucks to suck. I can't breathe. My vision is blurred. I manage to stand, supporting myself against the wall of my destination, the shed. I tracked the man with my blurry vision. I must have been kicked 20 meters. The man approaches, lance in hand. I'll be killed. I'll definitely be killed. The man will be here in a second. If I don't want to die now, I have to get up and face him. Yep, there he is, and there's the lance swing. The lance comes out at me. I can't even turn around fully, and my collapsing body faces the man's lance. How fortunate. I got lucky as I couldn't hold myself up and my knees collapsed, and that's how he missed. The lance goes over my head and hits the door of the shed, opening it. So this is my last chance. If I go in the shed, there should be something that I could use as a weapon. Okay, so you make it in the shed. I enter the shed on all fours. There. A fatal, inescapable blow is thrust. And I block it. I unroll the poster and make it into a one-time shield. A huge impact. The opened up poster did block the lance, but it was not strong enough. It's pierced through and transforms back into its original paper. Hit by the impact of the thrust lance, I'm flung to the wall. There's that long thing over there. That random ass thing over there that's just by its own near the stairs. I fall on my butt and recover myself. When I raise my head to try and find a weapon.
爪だ。今のは割と驚かされたぜ、坊主。
Yeah, he's definitely a fighter, if nothing else. The man is pointing the lance at me. This is it. The man's lance is pointing directly at my heart. I know this. This is the smell of death I felt just a few hours ago. Am I supposed to click? Yeah.
しかし、わからねえな。起点は効くくせに魔術はからっきしときた。筋はいいようだが、まだ若すぎたか。
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Can't hear him. My mind is focused only on the weapon in front of me. It's only natural. Because I'll die when that thing is thrust. So everything else is gone from my mind. What else can I think about now that things have ended up like this?
もしやとは思うが、お前が7人目だったのかもな。
Well, you see there... how about maybe I am the seventh one?
ま、だとしても、これで終わりなんだが。
The man's arm moves. The movement I couldn't even see before looks like it's in slow motion now. Maybe because you're awakening? The running silver light. The spearhead moves straight for my heart. It will spill blood in the next second. I know this feeling. The feeling of metal running in me. Okay. The taste of blood coming up my throat. The sense of the world around me disappearing. I felt all of it earlier. And I have to experience it again? Really? I don't understand. Why do I have to go through this? This is bullshit. I can't accept this. I can't just die here meaninglessly. I was saved. I was saved, so I can't die so easily. I have to live and fulfill my obligations. If I die, I can't do that. But the lance will pierce me. The spearhead will cut into my flesh and pierce my heart. It pisses me off. It's ridiculous to kill someone that easily. It's ridiculous for me to die so easily. Dying twice in one day? That's ridiculous as well. Damn. Everything is so screwed up that I can't contain it all and... Boom.
ふざけるな。俺は。
Won't be killed meaninglessly. By someone like you! Oh yeah, that's a big nani. Truly it.
何？
Yeah, there's the Nani. Appeared like magic. In a blinding light, it appears from behind me. My mind stops. All I know is that the figure who appeared is a girl. Oh shit. Oh, it's Saber time. The moment it appears, it repels the lance thrust at my heart and steps up to the enemy without hesitation.
本気か7人目のサーバントだと
The man readies his deflected lance and the girl swings something she is holding. Oh shit. Sparks fly twice. A strong swing. The man hesitates, receiving a heavy blow from the girl. He must have realized he is at a disadvantage as he jumps out of the shed with bestial speed. While keeping her guard up against the man, she quietly turns to me. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here I come. Let's go! It's the shot! We finally made it! Again! Holy shit! It's nice to see you again, Saber Mommy. The wind is strong today. The clouds drift and the moon appears for a brief moment. The silver light that shines into the shed lights up the girl in knightly form. I'm speechless. Not because I'm confused by the sudden turn of events, but because she's so beautiful. I'm at a loss for words because of this girl's overwhelming beauty. Yep. The girl stares at me emotionlessly with her jewel-like eyes.
とあなたが私のマスターか
She says in a valiant voice.
マスター
I only repeat back her words. I don't know who she is or what she's talking about. All I know is that this small girl is the same kind of being as the man outside. Oh. The girl says nothing and just stares at me silently. How can I put this? The figure in front of me is so special that I forget the situation. That the man outside could come and attack at any second. Really cool there to get the close-ups of the two of them. It feels like time has stopped just around me. The fear of death has disappeared and only the girl fills my vision.
サーバントセーバー召喚に従い参上した
Holy fuck. Well! Saber's here. You're gonna have to accept that, bro, even though you have no idea what any of this means.
マスター指示を
She speaks again. The instant I hear the words master and servant, a pain shoots through my left hand. Oh, this time it's the now we got the full command spell. It's like a hot iron has been placed on my hand. I grab my left hand instinctively. That must have been the signal as the girl quietly nods her lovely face.
これより我が剣はあなたと共にありあなたの運命は私と共にある
My sword shall be with you and your fate shall be with me. So fucking cool.
ここに契約は完了した
Oh my god, here we go! I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We're finally starting the game. I know we even started this route, but the fact that we actually went back to January 31st, I feel like we're only just... Now we are finally really starting Fate.
契約って何の
Even I have some knowledge of magic. I understand what that word means. But the girl doesn't answer me and looks away with the same grace she had when she nodded. She looks at the door of the shed. There stands the man, his lance ready in his hand. She moves faster than I can think. The knightly girl leaps out of the shed without hesitation. Are we gonna get to see a little bit of Saber versus Lancer? I get up and follow the girl, even forgetting the pain in my body. There's no way that girl will be a match for him. Oh, you silly boy, you don't know shit. Even armored like that, she is a girl smaller than me.
やめ
My words are silenced by the sound. Nani? I can't believe my eyes. This time my head really does go blank.
なんだあいつ。
A servant. Not just any servant. The sound of weapons. The moon is hidden behind the clouds and the yard has returned to its original darkness. In it, sparks are born from steel hitting steel. The lance-wielding man wordlessly attacks the girl who jumped out of the shed. But the girl parries the blow of the lance and knocks away all following attacks, driving the man back with every blow. Oh shit, new music here. I can't believe it. The girl called Saber is overpowering that man. The battle has begun. What happened between me and him earlier wasn't a battle. A battle is a fight between two people who can kill each other. Whatever the difference in skills, if each has a way to kill the other, then you can call it a battle. Their fight is a battle in that sense too. The man's lance that couldn't even see is thrown with even more power. But the girl parries it with the thing in her hands and closes in on the man. The man retreats a bit. He holds his lance vertically to protect his ribs as the girl goes for them. Oh, I was waiting! I was wondering when we were gonna get a shot. Oh, there we go. Now we're actually getting some shots of Saber versus... I was thinking like they weren't giving us anything like they did for Archer versus Lancer. I was hoping we'd get some Saber versus Lancer action here. For a moment, the man's lance glows. It was a blow like an explosion, and I guess it really was one. The instant the man blocks the thing the girl's holding, the lance in his hand glows as if electrified. The man, and even I, can tell what that is. That is a force of magical energy so strong that it's visible. In each of the girl's blows is a terrible amount of magical energy, so it's like a magic sword. That outrageous amount of magical energy is penetrating the opponent's weapon just by touching it. Such a thing. It would take such force just to block it. If you think of the man's lance as an accurate sniper rifle, the blows of the girl are like those of a powerful shotgun. Every time the girl swings, the yard is filled with light. But that isn't what's overpowering the man. The man complains while avoiding the girl's fierce attacks. The girl doesn't answer, but only attacks even more with the thing in her hands. The man retreats with not even a chance for a counterattack, because the girl's weapon is invisible. As he cannot sense her range, it would be careless to attack recklessly. Jesus. Yes, it is invisible. The girl definitely has something in her hand. But as you can't see what shape it is, nor how long it is, you can't tell anything about it. An invisible sword, huh? Perhaps it's totally invisible, as it does not even show up. As it does not show up even when sparks fly off from it. The man must be having a hard time defending against it, as his moves aren't as sharp. And the girl lets out a voice for the first time. She swings her weapon with more fury. A storm of swings without pause. The flying sparks remind me of a blacksmith hitting iron. The lance-wielding man blocks them, clucking his tongue. I must say, I admire his skills, even though he tried to kill me. The man is blocking invisible blows, watching only the opponent's legs and arms. That's it. You only need to beat down someone who's gone defensive. As if to say so, the girl steps in even closer to the man and delivers a blow with all her might, as if smashing him down. He must see this as his opportunity as the man disappears. No, he jumped back, making it look like he disappeared. Oh shit. The girl's blow cuts through air and destroys the ground, kicking up dust. The blow, swung as a final one, was easily dodged. I can tell even from a distance. I don't know about the careful blows from before, but such a big blow won't be able to touch that man. Even that man's body must have been straining under all those attacks. But he suppressed it for an instant and jumped away. As if this blow will determine the victor. The man who jumped back several meters jumps as soon as he lands. As if reversing his retreat, he jumps at the girl. In contrast, the girl still has her sword in the ground. That opening is irrevocable. The red lance returns in less than a second and the girl twirls her body with the sword still in the ground. What's she gonna do? So the contest lasts less than a second. The man sees his mistake and tries to hold back, while the girl uses her whole body to execute her blow. The fuck? The man blown away and the girl who blew him away both seem discontent. They each launch their blows to kill the other, but neither of them are dying here. Even if they allowed them to escape immediate danger, they were worthless. Their distance opens. The two stare at each other silently.
どうしたランサー止まっていては僧兵の名が泣こうそちらが来ないのなら私が行くが
Damn, what a savage.
わざわざ死にに来るかそれは構わんがその前に一つだけ聞かせろ貴様の宝具それは剣か
The man glares as if staring right into her heart.
さあどうかな
Oh my god.
旋風かもしれぬし双剣かもしれぬいやもしや弓かもしれんぞランサー
What the fuck?
抜かせセイバー
Perhaps it's really funny for him. The man, the one called Lancer, lowers his lance. It looks like he's indicating that he doesn't want to fight anymore. The girl is puzzled by Lancer's action, but I know that stance. It was used in the fight a few hours ago in the schoolyard. It's the fatal move that was supposed to have ended the show.
ついでにもう一つ聞くがなお互い初見だしよここらで分けって気はないか悪い話じゃないだろそらあそこでほうけているお前のマスターは使い物にならんし俺のマスターとて姿を晒せねえ大ふぬけときた
Yeah, let's go. A useless master and a coward master. Meanwhile, Archer's got the best master.
ここはお互い万全の状態になるまで勝負を持ち越した方が好ましいんだが
Fair enough.
断るあなたはここで倒れろランサー
そうかよたくこっちはもともと様子見が目的だったんだぜサーバントが出たとあっちゃ長居する気はなかったんだが
Damn. It seems like the air around them distorted. Lancer lowers his stance. A chill runs through the air at that moment, so we're gonna get to see Lancer's like special move then, with his noble phantasm over there. That giant ass lance, 2 fucking meters, what the fuck? It's exactly like back then. The magical energy rumbles in a whirlpool centered on that lance.
ホーグ
Noble phantasm. The girl readies her apparent sword and glares at the enemy in front of her. The girl, facing the enemy, knows better than I how dangerous he is.
じゃあなその心臓もらい受ける
I'll take that heart of yours, huh? The beast jumps. Lancer instantly appears in front of the girl as if he teleported and thrusts his lance at the girl's feet. It was a bad move, even to my eyes. With the lance already lowered, it wouldn't be effective to aim low at the girl. To prove my point, the girl jumps over the lance and moves forward to slash Lancer away. At that moment...
Gae?
Gay. Literally gay. With words themselves charged with magical energy. What the fuck? What? Oh, Gae Bolg. Oh, okay. Well, that makes a little more sense now. The lance thrust at the girl's feet rushes towards her heart. Her body rises into the air. The girl is driven up into the air by the blow of the lance, and she crashes down. No. lands on the ground. Holy shit. She's bleeding. The girl, who hasn't even received a scratch so far, is bleeding badly from her chest.
呪詛。いや、今のは因果の逆転か。
A reversal of causality. I'm surprised too. No, since I saw it from a distance, I can tell better than her that the attack just now was a strange one. The lance was definitely aimed at her feet, but it suddenly changed its course, moving strangely in an impossible direction and pierced the girl's heart. But the lance itself has not grown or bent. It looks so natural that it makes one think that the lance was already in her heart, and for that reason, it's strange. It's not as simple as the lance changing its course and piercing her heart. The lance did not change its course, but changed the means so that the result would be so. Okay, we're getting into some wild shit, and that's... Okay, these noble phantasms are gonna do some stupid shit. We're getting into, like, causality now. Like, what the fuck? And this is the first one that we're actually seeing do its thing. Oh, good God, this is gonna be wild. The lance thrust with that name carried the result of piercing her heart as a premise. What the fuck? Yeah, we are literally talking about, yeah. In other words, the process and the results were reversed. Yeah, the reversal of causality. As long as there was the result of the lance piercing her heart, the course of the lance was merely something added later to prove that fact. An evil thorn that breaks through all defenses. A lance that pierces the heart every time it's used. A weapon that determines your fate just by its use. And there you go. There's a deep... It goes into, again, why this series is called Fate. There's a lot of things that are destined to happen, and we are talking about an unescapable a fate that you cannot escape is something that thematically seems to be at the core of this series, and it's really interesting to see us getting into weapons that follow those principles already. How can anyone block such a ridiculous attack? You'd have to change your fate. However the enemy tries to dodge it, the lance will pierce their heart without fail. That's why this move is fatal. A cursed lance that always pierces the opponent with one thrust. But the girl has evaded it by a small margin. She is wounded, but it was not a fatal blow. In a sense, her actions were more impossible than the lance. The instant the lance was thrust, she turned and jumped back with all her might as if she knew this was going to happen. Either she had incredible luck, or enough divine protection to nullify the curse of the lance. Either way, she avoided a fatal blow and sullied the lance's name. Imagine it still got her in the heart, but it, like, nicked it or whatever. So it, like, it didn't defy fate necessarily. It both did and did not defy fate. Damn, Saber's in trouble, though. The girl catches her breath. The blood that was running so much has stopped, and even her stabbed wound is healing. Guess that's extraordinary. I knew she wasn't normal, but still, that's too strange. Like her skills to fight against Lancer, like the incredible magical energy in each of her blows, and like her body that heals by itself. This girl clearly surpasses Lancer. Yeah, she's the ace in the deck. But that was only up to now. Even if it's healing, her wound is deep. If Lancer attacks her now, she'll be defeated without even being able to defend herself. But with this overwhelming advantage, Lancer doesn't move. I assume this has to do with the weakness of his phantasm. He glares at the girl, grinding his teeth so hard that I can hear it.
かわしたな、セイバー。我が必殺のゲイボルクを。
Your fatal Gae Bolg. A voice that seems to echo from the ground. So Gae Bolg sounds Irish. I've heard the name before, so I'm assuming this has to do with legend. But I don't know Irish folklore, like, at all, pretty much. So I'm assuming this guy's Irish, or his inspiration. I'm pretty sure Gae Bolg is Irish. I don't know what it is about, though. I guess it's a spear. I know this actually from another medium is where another medium is where I've run into the name before, and I can't remember the specifics behind it. I have no idea. I have no idea who this fucker could be, and honestly, I'm probably not going to figure out who any of these people are until it's said. And when it's said, I'll be like, "Who is this person?" A voice that seems to echo from the ground.
Gae Bolg. Omi wa Ireland no hikari no miko ka?
Ireland's Man of Light. Okay. So is the name like? Okay, let me actually look this up real quick. The Spear of Mortal Pain / Death. Okay, yeah. So the Gae Bolg is the weapon. Very interesting. Ireland's Man of Light, huh? Lancer frowns. His hostility disappears and he clucks his tongue in annoyance.
ドジったぜ。こいつを出すからには必殺でなけりゃやばいってのにな。まったく有名すぎるのも考えものだ。
Yeah, because now we know that you're alive. The pressure goes away. Lancer doesn't even attack the wounded girl and simply turns his back and moves to the edge of the yard.
己の正体を知られた以上、どちらかが消えるまでやり合うのがサーバントのセオリーだが、あいにくうちの雇い主は臆病者でな。槍が交わされたのなら帰ってこい、なんて抜かしやがる。
I'm so curious about this master.
逃げるのか、ランサー。
ああ、追ってくるのなら構わんぞ、セイバー。
Yeah, I honestly would prefer that.
ただし、その時は決死の覚悟を抱いてこい。
Damn. With one bound, Lancer easily jumps over the wall and disappears.
待て、ランサー。
The wounded girl starts running to pursue the enemy.
バカかあいつ。
I run through the yard with all my strength. The girl will go after him if I don't stop her instantly. And she's gonna run into Archer, and she's gonna run into Rin, and then, yeah, okay, here we go. We're about to finally get to this. That was a lot more of a fight than I thought it would be. I kind of expected this would be a borderline curb stop where Saber just fucked his shit up. I like that they didn't bitch Lancer out at all. Because, I mean, that's the thing. He's supposed to be number 2. Like, Lancer's supposed to be the second best one. So, like, let's give Lancer some love here. I mean, assuming they went through him in order and stuff. But, like, either way, like, I like to see Lancer, you know, going off here. It's great for him. When the girl tries to jump over the wall, she clenches her chest and stops. I run to her and stare at her. No, I tried to approach her to call out to her, but I forget about the instant I come near her. Put it simply, everything about her is absurd. Now that I'm near her, I can tell that the shining armor she wears is really heavy. The old-fashioned cloth is smooth, a vivid blue. No, that isn't what fascinates me. The girl, who seems to be a few years younger than me, is beautiful. I also love the fact, again, she's got the fucking hair with the fucking little, like, protagonist hair over here. I can't wait until we transition to her and she's the real main character. She's got that fucking protagonist little piece of hair over her head. The golden hair lit by the moonlight is finely textured, as if sprinkled with gold dust. The face, with some sign of naivete, has elegance, and her white skin looks soft. Yeah, she's beautiful, we get it. I can't call out to her because I'm fascinated by her beauty, and also for another reason. Wow, this is actually kind of similar to Rin. Rin and Shirou both are like, God damn, I want to tap that. Or rather, I want that to tap me.
なんで
Because seeing the girl fighting and getting hurt somehow made me mad. All the while, I'm fascinated with her. The girl has her hand on her chest, but that ends quickly. The girl lets her chest go and looks up as if the pain has gone away. She stares directly at me. Yes? I'm not sure how I should talk to her, but I noticed something about her.
傷が なくなってる。
Yeah, she can like just self-heal or something. Even though it missed her heart, that lance stabbed her in the chest, but she's unscathed. I've heard of healing magics, but I didn't see her using anything like that. So that must mean she automatically heals even when she is wounded. Jesus. That's broken. Then my brain switches gears. This is no time to be fascinated by her. She is a strange being. I can't let my guard down until I know what she is.
お前何者だ。
I take half a step back and ask her.
何者も何もセーバーのサーバントです。
Okay.
あなたが私を呼び出したのですから確認をするまでもないでしょう。
He doesn't even know he summoned you, girl.
セイバーのサーバント。
はい。ですから私のことはセーバーと。
Alright, Saber it is. She replies without hesitation. Her tone is polite yet gentle, and just hearing it makes my head go blank. Hey, what am I getting excited about? God, why is she so hot? Calm down, Dick. Not now.
そうか。変な名前だな。
It's not her name. I hide my burning face with my hand and reply really stupidly. I don't know what else to say. I wouldn't know of any such thing to say. Since I asked her name, isn't it natural for her to introduce herself? In that case, it would be impolite to stay silent like this. I know this is just one of those things I think when we get into these more action-based scenes, like I mostly just read the dialogue and I'm like reacting to stuff. But this is really good, obviously. We finally have Saber in front of us. I'm like so happy for that. I'm so excited to meet this girl and get more of an idea of who she is and, you know, fight alongside her. Because again, if we are playing as Shirou, then Saber's going to be our girl. You know, Saber's our archer. So, you know, we're going to be seeing a hell of a lot of her. It's going to be great. I'm really excited for it. And I honestly just can't wait because I really hope she's like a great character. Because if not, I'm going to be really sad. But she probably will be. Especially given the fact that this game is so loved and stuff, and she's obviously one of the main people, so. I really can't wait. It's going to be great. I really found the entire fight between, quote-unquote, between Lancer and Shirou to be really interesting, and I found it really curious to see how that whole thing went. It was really cool, honestly. I really like how everything went down, and it was really interesting. I really found that quite enjoyable, and it was great. It really was great, so.
俺はシロ。エミやシロって言ってこの家の人間だ。
Yep. What am I doing? Are my answers getting stupider? She told me your name, so I should answer too. I know I'm confused right now, but I have to be polite no matter who this is. The girl, Saber, just stares at me without changing her expression.
いや違う。今のはなしだ。聞きたいのはそういうことでなくて、つまりだな。
分かっています。あなたは正規のマスターではないのですね。
Yeah, she's figured that out from your weird reactions and stuff.
ね。
しかし、それでもあなたは私のマスターです。契約を交わした以上、あなたを裏切りはしない。そのように警戒する必要はありません。
I mean, it makes sense. She's a knight. She's very honorable, so it makes sense that she would be what's it called? She doesn't care about like him not being a proper master, so to speak. She's still going to abide by her contract and stuff. It's interesting. It's pretty interesting too, because being that she's a girl, it makes it. I'm like trying to think who this could possibly be, like in lore, in like whether again a character of lore, of legend, or a legitimate person in history. And I'm like really struggling here. I mean, again, I feel like if any of them are going to be obvious, it's going to be Saber. And I'm like, but like, who could this really be? You know, Joan of Arc passed through my head for a second, but I mean, I kind of doubt it. I don't know. I don't know, because, like, this seems more warrior-y than that. So it's someone who's legendary for a sword. Like, I feel like that also has to narrow it down, but I, like, just don't know who this could be. And I feel like this one should be really obvious. Crap. I can hear her words, but they make no sense to me. All I know is that she's calling me with a ridiculous word like master. Get used to it, bro. It's kinda hot.
それは違う。俺マスターなんて名前じゃないぞ。
それでは素人。ええ、私としてはこの発音の方が好ましい。
Yep, we got Saber calling him Shirou. We got Archer calling her Rin. It's perfect. As soon as she says my name, I think my face lit up on fire. Shouldn't you call someone by their last name on a first meeting? Well, to be fair, she might not be Japanese. That hair kind of gives that away.
ちょっと待て。なんだってそっちの方。
Probably because she comes from a culture where you just go by first name, and again, that hair kind of gives that away. Pain suddenly runs through my left hand. There it is! That's interesting. Back of my hand is burning. My hand feels like it's in a fire, and on it is a strange mark that looks like a tattoo. That's different, though.
それは霊樹と呼ばれるものです、シロ。
Yep.
私たちサーバントを律する3つの命令権であり、マスターとしての命でもある。
Yep.
むやみ。
Oops, sorry.
お前。
Sorry about that. Yeah, please do not use it thoughtlessly. Before I can finish with "Are you?" the air around her changes. This is where she says.
傷の治療を。
She speaks in a cold voice. It seems her attention is on something far away behind the wall and not on me. Yep, the other two.
待て。まさか俺に言ってるのか。悪いけど、そんな難しい魔術は知らないし、それにもう治ってるじゃないか、それ。
Saber frowns a bit. I think I said something really wrong there.
ではこのままで臨みます。自動修復は外面を覆っただけですが、あと一度の戦闘ならば支障はないでしょう。
Yeah, in other words, he's fucking useless. Good thing you're a beast.
あと一度って何を？
Yeah.
外の敵は2人。この程度の重圧なら数秒で倒し得る相手です。
Jesus Christ, Saber! Holy shit! And she just... Boop. Saying so, Saber jumps slightly. Yeah, so we know what this is, of course. I thought we would actually get to this sooner, but I'm glad it took a while, because this episode was actually going by a lot faster than I thought it was, and I wanted to give you guys a long episode to get through this night, and this night is actually taking a while. I was a little worried it would be a lot quicker than I thought. Part of it's because I haven't said a lot, like in between dialogue and talking and reading the inner monologues and stuff. I haven't really said a lot about my feelings on everything. I think it goes without saying. This is fucking awesome, and I love it. And I'm like super excited for this because we're getting Saber finally, and it means that obviously after this night we're like completely blind on what the rest of this fucking game's going to be, because obviously we have been more or less we've pretty much finished repeating the stuff that we did as Rin. Just like Lancer, she leaps over the wall and disappears outside. I'm left alone in the yard.
外に敵？
As soon as I say it aloud, I realize what it means.
ちょっと待て。まだ戦うっていうのか、お前。
Yeah, she did say that. My body starts to move. Without thinking, I run to the gate with full force. And barely save Rin. I run to the gate, unlock it with trembling hands, and jump outside. Basically twice that now he's saved Rin's life, and Rin saved him. It's just, they're just gonna be saving each other's lives this whole fucking game at this rate.
Saber! どこだ?
I search through the dark. The moon is hidden, now of all times, and is completely dark. But I hear something nearby.
そこか。
I run to the small road with no sign of anyone on it. It all happens in an instant. Saber is confronting a familiar guy in red. Saber runs at the man in red without hesitation, takes his guard down with one blow, and... Jesus. Easily slashes the man in red. Saber raises her arm to finish him off. But right before the man in red's neck is slashed, he disappears as a powerful magic is cast. Yep, and that cost Rin her second command spell. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes to the person behind the man in red and easily cuts off the large spell the person launches. Yep, that was the wind spell. I knew she was strong, but this is overwhelming. That spell right now was at a level of intervention magic that I cannot even compare with. Father could use one as strong as that, but to cast a natural intervention of that power instantly, I don't think even a first-class magus could do so. But Saber nullified even that master-class magic. The enemy must be a magus, as the match is decided right there. The magus's attacks are of no use against Saber, and she mercilessly attacks the magus. I'm waiting. He's about to finally realize this is Rin. A sound of someone falling backwards. The magus has miraculously dodged Saber's blow, but the enemy now cannot move. Saber corners the enemy and points her invisible sword. My mind freezes. Probably because the moon lights up the scene for an instant. I can tell that the figure Saber is pointing at is human. I can't tell who it is, but the image of Saber killing someone and getting splattered with blood pops into my head. Yeah, that's a dark image for sure. We might see that later in the game, but Saber moves. She will pierce the enemy's throat with that thing in her hand.
Yamero! Saber!
I scream as loud as I can. Her sword stops. Thank God I can't see her sword. The end of her invisible sword isn't wet with the enemy's blood.
Yamero! 頼むからやめてくれ Saber!
I address her, glaring, preparing myself to do my best to stop her.
なぜ止めるのです、シロ。彼女はアーチャーのマスターです。ここで仕留めておかなければ。
No, Saber has no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I said so, and she is ready to bring her sword down at any time.
だから待てって。人のことをマスターだとか言ってるけど、こっちは点でわからないんだ。俺をそんな風に呼ぶんなら、少しは説明するのが筋ってもんだろう。
It's very complicated. Honestly, Rin might be able to do a better job than Saber at explaining, but the two of you together could certainly get him up to speed. She's like, bro, I don't have time for this. I'm trying to win you the Holy Grail. And he's like, what's the Holy Grail? And she just face palms. Saber doesn't answer. She only stares at me in silence.
順番が違うだろう、セイバー。俺はまだお前が何なのか知らない。けど話してくれるなら聞くから。そんなことはやめてくれ。
To be fair, this is very time I can't think of the word, but like time sensitive, I suppose. Like, to be fair, there's literally enemies all around you, so I don't blame Saber. Saber is silent. Still pointing her sword at the fallen enemy, she looks at me discontentedly.
そんなこととはどのようなことか。あなたはむやみに人を傷つけるな、などという理想論を挙げるのですか。
Jeez. Not hurting anyone unnecessarily. Well, it is true that we should avoid fights as much as possible, but I'm not so good-natured as to release someone who came to attack me.
つまりあなたは敵であれ命を絶つなと言いたいのでしょう。そのような言葉には従いません。敵は倒すものです。
Oh shit.
それでもやめろというのであれば、令旨をもって私を律しなさい。
Oh shit. Just straight up saying use your command spell.
いや、そんなことっていうのはお前のことだ。女の子が剣なんて振り回すもんじゃない。
What the fuck?
怪我をしてるならなおさらだろう。
I don't know if that's gonna make her blush or furious or both.
で、そっか。本当に剣を持ってるかどうかはわからないんだっけ。いや、とにかくそういうのはダメだ。
What the fuck, bro? She's like, what the fuck? Saber looks dumbfounded as if taken aback. How long were we even standing like that?
で、いつになったら剣を下げてくれるのかしらね、セイバーさんは。
Here we go! marking the fuck out right now. The figure on the ground suddenly speaks. Saber suddenly concentrates her attention on her sword.
諦めなさい。敵を前にして下げる剣はありません。
あなたのマスターは下げろって言ってるのに。
Oh shit.
セイバーとマーロンサーバントが主に逆らうって言うんだ。
Holy shit, Rin, you goddess! Oh my god, this is great. Oh my god, we're getting Rin here. Yes, this idiot is finally gonna realize that's Tosaka Rin sitting on the ground underneath Saber, about to get killed and maybe raped. Only if you order it. Only if you use the command spell. Don't, please. She's best girl, but for now, she's best girl. I don't know. We'll see about Saber. Saber's pretty interesting so far, but we have a long way to go for me to really dive into Saber and see how much I actually do love her. I probably will love her, though, I assume. Saber grits her teeth. But Saber lowers her sword and relaxes. Saber's hostility disappears, so she must have put away her sword as well.
さ、なら立ってもいいのよね、私。
Holy shit! The one on the ground stands up. She looks shameless, brushing her rear. There she is! Hey, wait a second! That sulky person is definitely— What?! Oh my god, you idiot!
お前遠坂。
ええ。こんばんは、エミヤくん。
Oh my god, Emiya-kun now. Tosaka Rin replies with a big smile. That gets me. If she greets me normally like that, everything that happened up until now seems like a dream, and no, my head's about to explode. Jeez, how easy would things be if it did? He almost wants his head to just— God.
いや、だからさっきの魔術は遠坂が使ったってことだから、つまり。
Yeah.
魔術師ってことでしょ。まあ、お互い似たようなもんだし、隠す必要もないわよね。
Yep. As if she couldn't be more perfect. When she replies clearly like that, it makes me seem stupid for asking.
いいから話は中でしましょう。どうせ何も分かってないんでしょ、エミヤくんは。
Yeah, I have to give you a giant info dump. So saying, she walks towards the entrance.
待て遠坂、何考えてんだお前。
He's like, why is the hottest girl in school who's actually a magus going into my house, even though my house is pretty awesome? It's like the Japanese version of her house. And then she turns and the smile on her face isn't like the previous one.
バカね、いろいろ考えてるわよ。だから話をしようって言ってるんじゃない。
What is up with that pose where she has like part of her hair over her arm? That's such a ridiculous pose, and I love it.
エミヤくん、突然の事態に驚くのもいいけど、素直に認めないと命取りって時もあるのよ。ちなみに今がその時だと分かって。
Damn, she actually said that pretty fast. It's interesting because I like— oh man, dude, guys, I don't know how much it's coming across how much I love Rin, but like, holy shit, I adore her. Like, given how much I love her, even with like how early into the game we are, like I think her potential, she has potential to be one of my favorite characters of all time, because I love her to pieces, and we're still so early into this goddamn game, and I already am like in love with Rin, and I like can't imagine how much I'm gonna love her down the line, especially if this is how her role is gonna kind of be as like this main character who's going to— like, I don't know how they're gonna do this, but I'm wondering, like, that's the thing. I'm theorizing that Emiya and Rin are gonna kind of like team up, and it's gonna be a deal where they're like, or at least they have like a truce, and it's like we'll save each other for the end type deal and figure it out. This is so interesting though. God, I love this. And the fact that they gave us like that Rin prologue is so great, and it like sets up the scene so well for this now, because it's like, I mean, besides the fact that we've experienced this, we have such an investment with Rin, and we're so into it. It's just, oh, it's so well done. This game is so good, and it's like barely started. But like this, I mean, obviously it's a long time investment, and doing it in the format that I'm doing it makes it so much longer, because compared to if you were just playing it on your own. But it's just, I love how this game is portraying everything. And like, literally, even though, like, not even just the prologue, I feel like we're just now finishing the setup for this fucking game. We've finally made it out of all the things that we knew from the prologue, and we're finally here. She glares at me. Yeah, bro, just follow the waifu with your other waifu.
わかればよろしい。それじゃあ行こっか。エミヤくんのお家にね。
I mean, given your place is literally right here. Tosaka goes through the gate.
なんかすげえ怒ってるぞ、あいつ。
I mean, there's obvious reasons. She really wanted Saber, and she ended up literally with an asshole that's actually based. And Archer is still second best character so far. But... and then this nobody who literally has no idea what's going on just got Saber. It's only natural. She had a sword pointed at her until now, and she was almost killed. That too, but honestly, I think she's less pissed about that.
いや、それにしたって。
Is it just my imagination, or is she totally unlike how she seems at school? Well, she's able to be herself now in front of you, which is based, and... So, I'm in a strange situation, you think? In front of me is the school's #1 idol whom I admire, Tosaka Rin, and following silent behind me is Saber, who calls herself a servant. Oh. The hallway suddenly feels like a different dimension. But I can't be a coward forever. I'm a magus, even if I am just an amateur. Tosaka Rin, a magus just like me, is acting so fearlessly, so I have to act firmly too. But I can only work out a few things. First, about Saber, who's following me. I'm sure that she is some kind of a familiar because she calls me master and I've made a contract with her. I hear that a familiar is some kind of an assistant for a magus. Most magi transfer part of their body into something and summon it as another self. For the other self, a magus usually uses a small animal. That's simply because it's easy to take over the mind of something like a cat or a dog. That's kind of dark, but yeah, it makes sense. Some magi use a human as their familiar, but they need enough magical energy to restrain a human at all times if they do such a thing. But if one constantly uses enough magical energy to control someone, it would take most of the magus's magical energy to sustain the familiar. But that'd be putting the cart before the horse. A familiar is something that assists the magus. To reduce the burden on the magus, it is commonly accepted that small animals are most suitable. So I've been taught, but...
何かあるのですか、シロ？
あ、いや、なんでもない。
Saber looks human no matter how you look at her, and she is clearly superior to me, her master. I don't have the magical energy to control such a person, and more than that, I don't have the magic circuit to summon a familiar. So Saber must be something rather unlike a familiar. She said she is a servant. I don't know what that is, but I think the man called Lancer and the man in red with Tosaka were the same thing. Then it must be that Tosaka is also called a master. I just saw her magic skills. If I am worth half a magus, she is worth about 3 magi. Though of course, there's no point in comparing me to other magi when I can only use the strengthening magic. Half a magus is probably, you know, being generous, but... Anyway, Tosaka is an amazing magus. In any spiritually superior land is a family of magi that looks after that land. The Emiya family only came to this land in Kiritsugu's generation, so we're just strangers. That's why I didn't know that the Tosakas were magi, and I don't think Tosaka knew that the Emiyas were a family of magi either. There are several magi in this town that I don't know about. If Lancer is the familiar of another magus in this town, then does it mean that I stuck my head into a conflict between magi?
へえ、結構広いのね。和風っていうのも新鮮だな。
Yeah, because she's got the Western style house, of course. They've emphasized this quite a bit.
あ、エミヤくん、そこが今？
Yep. Saying so, Tosaka goes into the living room. Let's stop thinking for now. Let's just listen to Tosaka's story. Yeah, that will help you a lot more. I mean, it'll blow your mind like 12 more times, but Saber should be able to confirm. I turned the lights on. It's already past 1 in the morning.
寒っ。何よ、窓ガラス全開してるじゃない。
仕方ないだろう。ランサーってやつに襲われたんだ。なりふり構ってられなかったんだよ。
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It happened a little while ago.
ああ、そういうこと。じゃあ、セイバーを呼び出すまで一人であいつとやり合ってたの？
Yeah, I guess.
やり合ってなんかない。ただ一方的にやられただけだ。
Yeah, it's more.
ふーん。変な見え張らないんだ。そっかそっか。ほんと見た目通りなんだ、エミヤくんって。
Yep. Yeah, it's like Emiya-kun. It's so weird, and she's being nice. Oh, dude, I love her way too much. She is so good. She is so good. I am like I'm actually kind of in love with Rin, I'm not gonna lie. Tosaka walks over to the broken window. Tosaka takes a piece of the shattered glass, takes a look at it, and of course. Yep. She cuts the tip of her finger and puts a drop of her blood onto the glass. What kind of magic is this? Look at how fucking smug she looks. She's like, yeah, buddy, I'm a real magist. The shattered glass combines on its own and restores itself in a matter of seconds.
遠坂、今の。
ちょっとしたデモンストレーションよ。助けてもらったお礼にはならないけど、一応筋は通しておかないとね。
Nice.
もう私がやらなくともそっちで直したんだろうけど、こんなの魔力の無駄遣いでしょ。本当なら窓ガラスなんて取り替えれば済むけど、こんな寒い中で話すのもなんだし。
Sure, let's go with that. She says so as if it's something natural. But needless to say, her skills are beyond my understanding. God, I love looking at her so much. It's a good thing that I'm playing this in like a let's play, because otherwise I would just be spending way too much time just staring at her.
いや、すごいぞ遠坂。俺はそんなことできないからな。直してくれて感謝してる。
できないってそんなことないでしょ。ガラスの扱いなんて初歩の初歩だもの。たった数分前に割れたガラスの修復なんてどこの学派でも入門試験みたいなものでしょ。
He's like, bro, like I am shit.
そうなのか。俺は親父にしか教わったことがないから、そういう基本とか処方とか知らないんだ。
は
She hasn't realized how shit he is yet. Tosaka freezes. Damn it, it seems I said something I shouldn't have.
ちょっと待って。じゃあ何？エミヤくんは自分の工房の管理もできない半人前ってこと？
いや、工房なんて持ってないぞ、俺。
Well, I do have that shed as my training area, but I think Tosaka would get mad if I called that my workshop.
まさかとは思うけど確認しとく。もしかしてあなた5大要素の扱いとかパスの作り方も知らない？
So I'm curious about the 5 main elements, because they made a mention of this earlier. They talked about the... what was it? The imaginary 6th element, the devil. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Or something like that. And it just... So I'm curious to learn about this, because we actually have not gone into a pass, and we've definitely not talked about the 5 main elements, because I would have written this down in my notes, and I don't have it. I honestly admit that I don't know. She's like, how in the fuck did you summon Saber? Wow, that's scary. She's so beautiful usually, so she looks pretty scary now. Yeah, I can see that. That's definitely a step on me, Mommy Rin.
何？じゃああなた素人？
Yeah, literally.
そんなことないぞ。一応強化の魔術ぐらいは使える。
強化ってまたなんとも半端なのを使うのね。で、それ以外はからっきしってわけ？
Yeah, pretty much. Tosaka glares at me.
まあ端的に言えば多分。
Her glare makes my answer vague.
はあ、なんだってこんなやつにセイバーが呼び出されるのよ。まったく。
Trust me, he would like to know too, as would I. She sighs. I love that she's actually face palming. Especially since face palming is like not even really much of a thing back then. It makes me mad. I haven't been playing around. I know I'm an amateur, but I don't think it matters right now.
まあいいわ。もう決まったことに不平をこぼしても始まらない。そんなことより今は借りを返さないと。
I mean, to be fair, you did save his life. I think we're kind of even, honestly. I guess technically he kind of saved your life twice, so maybe you need to save his life one more time. Tosaka takes a breath.
それじゃあ話を始めるけど。
Oh, here we go. The explanation of the Holy Grail War and all that. Are we gonna skip it?
エミヤくん、自分がどんな立場にあるのか分かってないでしょ。
No. I nod. Yes, I like how it did the nod effect too.
やっぱり。まあ一目で分かったけど、一応確認しとかないとね。知ってる相手に説明するなんて心の贅肉だし。
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think that was a weird phrase, but I stay quiet as I think she'll beat me up if I make fun of her now. I feel like he's already said that before. About the shed and the workshop. Oh my god.
率直に言うと、エミヤくんはマスターに選ばれたの。
Yep, and the music picks up because shit just got serious. We're playing that fucking piano again.
どちらかの手に精魂があるでしょ。手の甲とか腕とか、個人差はあるけど、3つの霊樹が刻まれているはず。
Yep.
それがマスターとしての証よ。
Yep.
手の甲って、あ、これか。
そう。それはサーバントを律する呪文でもあるから大切にね。霊樹って言うんだけど、それがある限りはサーバントを従えていられるわ。
Yep, I mean, this is just kind of, I'm just kind of listening to Rin's voice right now, because obviously we know all of this from Rin's perspective already, so.
ある限りってどういうことだよ。
霊樹は絶対命令権なの。サーバントには自由意志があるって気づいていると思うけど、それをねじ曲げて絶対に言いつけを守らせる呪文がその刻印。発動に呪文は必要なくて、あなたが霊樹を使用するって思えば発動するから。ただし1回使うたびに1つずつ減っていくから、使うのなら2回だけにとどめなさい。で、その霊樹がなくなったらエミヤくんは殺されるだろうから、せいぜい注意して。
Yeah, she's out of command spells already, which is crazy.
ね、俺が殺される？
そうよ。マスターが他のマスターを倒すのが聖杯戦争の基本だから。そうして他の6人を倒したマスターには望みを叶える聖杯が与えられるの。
Yep.
に？
Yeah, that deserves a nani for sure. Hold on. I don't understand what Tosaka is talking about at all. Like the part about masters killing other masters? And the part where the winner gets a holy grail? Wait, does she mean that holy grail? Like, yes, we are talking about the holy grail.
まだわからない？要するにね、あなたはあるゲームに巻き込まれたのよ。
Yeah, pretty much.
聖杯戦争っていう7人のマスターの生存競争。他のマスターを一人残らず倒すまで終わらない魔術師同士の殺し合いに。
Yep. Man, I never would have guessed in a million years that something called the Holy Grail War would be a freaking battle royal between 7 people. Like, who would ever guess in a million years that? Tosaka Rin states so as if it's the most natural thing in the world. That phrase swirls in my head. I have been chosen as a master. Tosaka says she is a master. Familiars called the servants. And a battle to the death between other magi called the Holy Grail War.
待て、なんだそれ。いきなり何言ってんだお前。
気持ちはわかるけど、私は事実を口にするだけよ。
Yeah, I mean, it's important you know.
それにあなただって心の底では理解してるんじゃない？一度ならず二度までもサーバントに殺されかけて、自分はもう逃げられない立場なんだって。
True. That's certainly I was almost killed by that Lancer guy, but
あ、違うわね。殺されかけたんじゃなくて殺されたんだっけ。よく生き返ったわね、エミヤくん。
Yep. Tasaka's comment finishes me off. And then he came. Oh, don't use that verbiage there. Oh, not in regards to Tosaka's anything. That's right. That guy killed me, and I certainly died. No excuse nor negotiation was possible. I was just someone who had to be killed. So, even if I do deny this battle to the death that I cannot understand, the others in it will not withdraw.
納得した？ならもう少しだけ話をしてあげる。聖杯戦争というのが何であるか私もよくは知らない。ただ何十年に一度7人のマスターが選ばれ、マスターにはそれぞれサーバントが与えられるってことだけは確かよ。
Yep, and you just happened to draw the ace.
私もマスターに選ばれた一人。だからサーバントと契約したし、あなただってセーバーと契約した。
Yep.
サーバントは聖杯戦争を勝ち残るために聖杯が与えた使い魔と考えなさい。
Yep.
で、マスターである私たちは自分のサーバントと協力して他のマスターを始末していくわけね。
Yep. It's pretty dark. Yeah. Having this dumped on you is crazy. Tosaka's description is too brief for me to understand. But there is one thing I do wonder about.
ちょっと待ってくれ。遠坂はセイバーを使い魔だって言うけど、俺にはそうは思えない。だって使い魔っていうのは猫とか鳥だろ。そりゃ人の幽霊を扱うやつもいるって言うけど、セイバーはちゃんと体がある。それにそのとても使い魔なんかに見えない。
Like she said, chosen by the Holy Grail. Like that's the influence of the Holy Grail. I glance at Saber. Saber is quietly listening to our conversation. She looks just like a human being. She was once upon a time. Well, we don't even know that for sure, because it could be a legend or it could be a real person. I don't know her identity, but she's a girl about my age. Just having a girl like that near me is more than enough. So I don't get it when she tells me that Saber is a familiar, and besides, my heart is pounding right now. It's interesting that it's a girl his age, too, so she's very young. Which should also give me a hint, but I don't have no idea.
使い魔ね。まあサーバントはその分類ではあるけど、位置づけは段違いよ。何しろそこにいる彼女はね、使い魔としては最強とされるゴーストライナーなんだから。
A ghost liner, huh? We've not actually heard that term used yet.
ゴーストライナー。じゃあそのやっぱり幽霊ってことか？
In a sense, yeah. A human ghost that stopped living a long time ago. The remaining minds of those with strong abilities who remain in this world even after they die. That doesn't make sense. A ghost doesn't have a body. A ghost can be only hurt by ghosts. So, as I have a body, a ghost shouldn't be able to kill me.
幽霊。似たようなものだけど、そんなもんと一緒にしたらセイバーに殺されるわよ。
Yeah.
サーバントは受肉した過去の英雄。精霊に近い人間以上の存在なんだから。
Makes sense.
はあ？受肉した過去の英雄。
Yep.
そうよ。過去だろうが現代だろうが、とにかく死亡した伝説上の英雄をこう引っ張ってきてね、実体化させるのよ。
Excuse me? From the past or the present or whenever? What does that mean?
まあ呼び出すまでがマスターの役割で、後の実体化は聖杯がしてくれるんだけどね。魂を形にするなんてのは一介の魔術師には不可能だもの。ここは強力なアーティファクトの力におんぶしてもらうってわけ。
By an artifact we don't physically even have, which is wild.
ちょっと待て。過去の英雄って、
It means exactly what she said. Literally a hero of the past. I look over at Saber. Then she's a heroine from the past too? Yes. Well, it's true that nobody would dress like that now, but still.
そんなの不可能だ。そんな魔術聞いたことがない。
当然よ。これは魔術じゃないもの。あくまで聖杯による現象と考えなさい。そうでなければ魂を再現して固定化するなんてできるはずがない。
Yeah, this is all about the Holy Grail, not magic. Or, I mean, I guess magic's a catalyst, but this is the Holy Grail's doing.
魂の再現って。じゃあそのサーバントは幽霊とは違うのか？
違うわ。人間であれ動物であれ機械であれ、偉大な功績を残すと輪廻の輪から外されて一段階上に昇華するって話聞いたことない？
Wait a minute. Humans, animals, or machines that leave any great achievements behind get removed from the ring of reincarnation and sublimate into beings of higher rank. There's so many things in that freaking sentence. So one, it's not exclusive to humans, animals and machines that leave any. What is that? That part's just ridiculous, but okay. They get removed from the ring of reincarnation and sublimate into beings of higher rank. That's implying that machines are beings in this universe. And then also, that does also say that the ring of reincarnation, so we do reincarnate when we die in this universe, unless we do something great and then we become something more.
英霊っていうのはそういう連中よ。要するに崇め立て祀られて疑似的な神様になった者たちなんでしょうね。
That makes sense.
高霊術とか口寄せとかそういう一般的な霊を扱う魔術は彼らの力の一部を借り受けて奇跡を起こすでしょ。
It's so interesting how this universe handles this stuff is like so... Because I've seen stuff kind of like, sort of what they're saying, but I couldn't tell you anything that's like quite the same as this. Like, this is such an interesting take on ghosts, reincarnation, the afterlife, all that stuff.
けどこのサーバントっていうのは英霊本体を直接連れてきて使い魔にする。だから基本的には霊体としてそばにいるけど必要とあらば実体化させて戦わせられるってわけ。
That makes sense.
その霊体と実体を使い分けられるってことか。
Yeah, once you find out how to do that.
遠坂のサーバントは姿が見えないけど今は霊体ってことか。
いえ、あいつはうちの召喚人で傷を癒している最中よ。
Yeah, because Saber almost killed him.
さっきセイバーにやられたでしょ。あれだってあと少し強制撤去が遅かったら一撃で消滅してたわ。
Yep.
いい？サーバントを倒せるのは同じ霊体であるサーバントだけ。そりゃ相手が実体化していればこっちの攻撃も当たるからうまくすれば倒せるかもしれない。
But it's unlikely.
けどサーバントはみんな怪物じみてるでしょ。だから怪物の相手は怪物に任せてマスターは後方支援をするっていうのがセオリーね。
Makes sense. Osaka's explanation irritates me for some reason. She calls them monsters. I don't know about the other servants, but I don't want her to talk about Saber like that.
とにかくマスターになった人間は召喚したサーバントを使って他のマスターを倒さなければならない。
Yep.
そのあたりは理解できた？
Sure.
言葉の上でなら。けど納得なんて言ってないぞ。そもそもそんな悪趣味なことを誰が何のために始めたんだ？
We have no idea.
それは私が知るべきことでもないし答えてあげることでもない。そのあたりはいずれちゃんと聖杯戦争を監督しているやつに聞きなさい。
Which would be what?
私が教えてあげられるのはね、あなたはもう戦うしかなくてサーバントは強力な使い魔だからうまく使えってことだけよ。
There's an obvious thing that we haven't really talked about yet, which is the fact that at some point or another we're gonna have to fight. Osaka says so and now turns to Saber.
さてレミヤ君から話を聞いた限りじゃあなたは不完全な状態みたいね、セイバー。マスターとしての心得がない魔術師見習いに呼び出されたんだから。
Mm-hmm. Interesting, not in full form.
あなたの言う通り、私は万全ではありません。シローには私を実体化させる魔力がないため、霊体に戻ることも魔力の回復も難しいでしょう。
Okay.
驚いたわ。そこまでひどかったこともだけど、あなたが正直に話してくれるなんて思わなかった。どうやって弱みを聞き出そうかなって程度だったのに。
Aw. This is really weird and cute and awesome.
敵に弱点を見抜かれるのは不本意ですが、あなたの目は欺けそうにない。こちらの手札を隠しても意味はないでしょう。
That makes a lot of sense, honestly.
それならばあなたに知ってもらうことで、シローにより深く現状を理解してもらった方がいい。
正解。風格も十分と。もうますます惜しい。私がセイバーのマスターだったらこんな戦い勝ったも同然だったのに。
Oh yeah, no doubt. Rin and Saber would have been the goated combination. I mean, the best master and the best servant. Tosaka clenches her fists with anger. It's like the freaking what is it? Not Arnold. It's the what is it? The fist, the angry fist. I can't. Oh, what show is it? It's one of those like really young kid shows. I can't think of. You know what I'm talking about.
遠坂、それ俺がふさわしくないってことか？
I mean, that'll be proven in time, but at this moment, probably not.
当然でしょ、ヘッポコ。
Yeah. Wow, she just said something that any normal person would have trouble saying.
何？まだなんか質問があるの？
And she doesn't realize it. Her honor student image from school crumbles inside of me as you get to see the real goat that is Tosaka Rin. Good going, you say. Tosaka certainly shows no openings, just like a devil.
さて、話がまとまったところでそろそろ行きましょうか。
Tosaka suddenly says something strange.
行くってどこへ？
だからあなたが巻き込まれたこのゲーム、聖杯戦争をよく知っているやつに会いに行くの。エミヤ君、聖杯戦争の理由について知りたいんでしょ？
I assume we're talking about her fake priest, guardian dude.
それは当然だ。けど、それってどこだよ？もうこんな時間なんだし、あんまり遠いのは。
大丈夫。隣町だから急げば夜明けまでには帰ってこ
Good
れるわ。
God.
それに明日は日曜なんだから別に夜更かししてもいいじゃない。
Oh, geez. Now I'm actually considering whether or not I'm gonna make a cut in a second here.
いや、そういう問題じゃなくて。
It's just that a lot of things happened today, so I want to have a rest and think about them.
何？行かないの？もうエミヤ君がそう言うんならいいけど、セイバーは？
Osaka asks Saber.
ちょっと待て、セイバーは関係ないだろう。あんまり無理強いするな。
I mean, it does have a lot to do with Saber, but...
もうマスターとしての自覚はあるんだ。私がセイバーと話すのは嫌？
Oh my god, her face like, hey, I see. You don't want me talking to your Saber? Ooh. and then Rin like gets really close to him and is like, I will fuck your servant before you even get your pants off. And then he just like, his head actually finally explodes at that moment because we all know, I think everyone can agree this is what we really want. Although to be honest, Rin and Archer sounds pretty hot too. But this is what we really want.
そんなことあるか。ただ、遠坂の言うのが本当なら、セイバーは昔の英雄なんだろ？なら、こんな現代に呼び出されて、右も左もわからないはずだ。だから、
シロ、それは違う。サーバントは人間の世であるのなら、あらゆる時代に適応します。
Interesting, yeah.
ですからこの時代のこともよく知っている。
知ってるって本当に？
Apparently.
もちろん。この時代に呼び出されたのも一度ではありませんから。
Is it from Tosaka's daddy? Oh shit, she just freaked out. It's one thing for it to be Saber, but it's not just the Saber class, it's the same exact Saber, isn't it?
嘘。どんな確率よそれ。
Yep. Hey, Tosaka is surprised too. Yep. So that must mean Saber said something incredible. It's the exact same Saber. Yeah, I kind of figured.
シロ、私は彼女に賛成です。あなたはマスターとして知識がなさすぎる。あなたと契約したサーバントとして、シロには強くなってもらわなければ困ります。
Saber stares at me silently. It's a gentle stare that's worried not for herself, but for me.
わかった。行けばいいんだろ、行けば。
Dude, she is like freaking out. She is like, what the hell? This was Daddy's Saber?
で、それってどこなんだ、トサカ。ちゃんと帰ってこれる場所なんだろうな。
That's a funny thing to say, but I guess it's relevant.
もちろん行き先は隣町の琴峰教会。そこがこの戦いを監督してるエセ神父の居所よ。
Going back over to Shinto then. Osaka makes an evil smile. Yeah, that does look kind of evil. It looks like she's having fun dragging me around while I don't know anything. She is a Dami mommy after all. It might be prejudice, but I'm beginning to feel like there's a problem with her personality. You'll get used to it real soon, boy, and pretty soon you'll be begging for more. From one or both of these girls, I'm not sure which one, actually. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I think now is a good a time as any to stop. We're gonna learn more about... Yeah, all of a sudden, I mean, this was not a long day, but this has been an insanely long night. So yeah, we're gonna learn more about what's going on here, and that'll be really fun. Yeah, this is the holy crap, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was episode 4 of Fate. Episode 4? Yeah, episode 4 of, right? That was episode 4. Yeah, that was episode 4. I'm just making sure. That was episode 4 of Fate Stay Night. Episode 2 of the Fate route. And, holy moly. We basically got to make it past everything we knew about from the prologue. And now we are in completely uncharted territories. For the rest of this, I mean, unless they do another thing like that, assuming there's no weird things like that moving forward, I have no idea what's going on now. We're fully into the unknown, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to see where this goes. So Rin's taking Saber and Shirou to the fake priest. We're going to get to meet that guy. I remember in the OP we saw there was the one guy whose face I don't think we actually got to see. We saw him from behind. It looked like he was in a church. I'm assuming that guy's going to be the fake priest. Now, we did hear his voice in the very beginning when, in the phone call between him and Tosaka, but we haven't actually met this fake priest yet, so that's going to be a new character that we get to meet next episode, which should be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. But this game is just crazy. Like, it's amazing how hyped this episode was when we essentially kind of knew what was going to happen, because we've seen this episode already basically from a different perspective. So obviously episode 4 in many ways mirrored episode 2, but absolutely fantastic stuff. And I am so excited. Like, even though it took us another 2 episodes to get through the Shirou perspective of what we got through in the first 2 episodes with the Rin perspective, I still enjoyed it a ton. It was great to get some different perspective on stuff, and now we're going to be jumping into some craziness, because now we're going to see the priest, and we're going to hopefully learn more about the meaning and why this is happening, and just in general learn more about the Holy Grail War that Shirou isn't really familiar with, but potentially stuff that Rin isn't familiar with either. So it's going to be nice to actually get some more new information about the Holy Grail War, since this, in this episode, it was mainly just Rin recanting stuff that she already knew, that we knew from her perspective in the first 2 episodes, to Shirou, who's just completely in the dark about all of this. It's going to be great, though. This game is just, oh man, this game is so fucking cool. Oh man, this is such an experience. And I mean, for a visual novel too, I mean, it's really telling quite the unique and interesting story, and things are just getting started. We finally have Saber around. We got Saber Mommy, and Rin's being incredible as always, and shit's just gonna get better and better the further we dive into this, because I mean, this is Fate Stay Night, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what else is there really to say? This is Fate. I mean, I can't believe we're here. I still can't believe I'm actually playing this game, and it's really become a lot. You know, it wasn't really real when I played it on Christmas of 2021, but I've played it. You know, I recorded 2 parts in the morning, yesterday morning for me, January 22nd. I just played another part on Sunday morning, January 23rd of 2022. Again, no idea when you guys will see these episodes, but it's crazy because now I'm actually really diving into Fate. I'm really getting like super invested in this, and it's becoming more and more real with every episode. And now it's like, here we go, we're really doing this, and I'm absolutely loving it, and I'm having such a great experience playing this game. And I can't imagine what it's going to be like moving forward now that we're completely in the dark and we're diving into all this crazy stuff. I didn't quite finish day 3. We're still, I guess technically, I mean, it's 1 a.m., so technically it's really day 4, isn't it? But it's technically February 3rd already, but yeah, we're going to find out some stuff with that. We're going to find out what's going on with, the Holy Grail War, and we're going to meet the fake priest and do all that fun stuff next time, and who knows what else, because that'll just be the beginning of the episode, so it should be a lot of fun to see where this goes now that Shirou's going to have his new daily life where he is a master, and he has Saber as his servant, and she can't really disappear or anything because he's like very inadequate, so you know, so they're gonna have to figure a lot of stuff out to make this work, and it's gonna be really interesting to see it all come into play. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are all super excited, because I'm really enjoying this game, and by the time you guys see this, we're probably about a month or so into the Let's Play, because I'm imagining these episodes will be weekly, and this is obviously episode 4, so we'll probably be looking at something like that. But I'm really excited to play this out and really give you guys my, I mean, at this point, yeah, now, I mean, like I said, the only things I know is that we have the 3 routes and I know what they're called. Like, that's it. I am, like, I'm so excited for this, because I don't know anything about this game or this series really, other than the series is a big meme for, you know, how complicated it can be to get into and how it's an endless black hole, and I know like some gotcha memes and stuff, but I don't actually know anything about this, and that's so exciting for me, and I'm sure it's so exciting for you guys watching, who I imagine most of you are probably Fate fans, and maybe some of you have decided to take the plunge with me, which, you know, hopefully your souls will stay pure. But yeah, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be absolutely wild. I don't even know. So yeah, anyways, I mean, that should pretty much do it for another episode of the Fate Stay Night Let's Play, the 2nd episode of the Fate route. And I'm just really excited to jump into more next time. It should be a lot of fun. I hope you guys are excited for it as well. But without any further ado, it is definitely time for me to bid you adieu. So you guys could check out my Patreon and Discord in the description if you guys want to support the channel or hang out there. Flamin' Shark signing out. Hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastical day, and I'll see you next time with another video. Thanks for watching. Peace.